Hey, Shallow friends. Welcome back to another episode of your favorite podcast and mine, The Shallow End. And while you're at it, if you don't have a drink in your hand already, go ahead and make it a double. Why? Well, one, you deserve it. And two, you'd actually be helping us celebrate for breaking into the double digits of episodes. And that's right, this is episode 10 of The Shallow End. And on this week's episode, we have the crew sitting down with a very special guest. He is a connoisseur of fine horses, world traveler, some might say a serial evolutionist. Actually, I don't really know if anybody said that. But either way, sit back, relax, and enjoy episode 10 of The Shallow End with special guest, Matt.
So, but you're confident that the sound works now?
Do we have do I have to wait for
You need to shut the fuck up.
13 minutes in to take a sip or something?
No.
Since we're not doing video, go ahead.
You need
talk about it.
Yeah, you don't need to worry about taking a sip, but you need to shut up because we need to talk about what we've done.
Right now?
I think so. Hey, welcome to episode 10
Of The Shallow End.
of The Shallow End. And we have a very special episode tonight.
We do.
We have a stranger in our midst.
There's a stranger in my house.
But let's talk about last week.
Okay. You want to talk about last week?
I do, kind of.
What do you have to
I
say?
want to hear what you think about how an unplanned episode went. Because it's kind of like not what you're like comfortable with.
I don't like unplanned things. That's true. Well, neither do you, though.
No, that's
Both
why
of
I'm
us-
asking.
Both of us hate it. Are you asking me how I liked it in the context of media to be advertised, or in the context of a conversation with my father?
Well, it's never been about media to be advertised.
Sure.
I want to know how you felt it went now that you have had some distance from it, because in the moment, I think we accomplished what we were hoping to
That's
accomplish.
true, we did.
felt better at the end of the
Yeah.
experience.
Afterwards, I think it was a pretty solid episode for us to just be doing it
Just
off the cuff. I think we had interesting things to say. I thought we were funny, but that also might just be because I think I'm funny.
and so does Kathleen.
And so does Kathleen. Shout out Kathleen, love you, girl.
All right.
What do you think, Dad?
Well, so I agree, and I told you earlier today that I listened to the entire episode,
Which is rare. You
which
don't
is
really
rare.
listen to
I
it.
don't really want to listen
No,
to this little
you
thing. But I think it's important that we both came with good, positive attitudes around not having a plan, because tonight
Is kind of the
this-
same.
this could go lots of directions.
Yes, but the difference is tonight, I feel like last week we were like, this could go lots of different directions and who knows whether it will be entertaining or not. But tonight, I feel like we're like, it could go lots of directions, but no matter what, we will be entertained.
Yeah, and we have somebody here who's going to dance for us regardless.
Dance monkey. Dude.
Yeah.
Do you want to introduce who that person is?
We teased it at the end of last episode, right?
little bit.
Mr. Finch.
Mr. Finch.
We call you Mr. Finch.
You know, we've called you Mr. Finch on our podcast multiple times.
And you can introduce yourself
Go
in
ahead.
any way you would like. But we are here with live Mr. Finch, first ever non-family member guest. So let's see how it goes.
Take it away.
I just don't really know how to talk about the Mr. Finch. That story has to be told. I can't even introduce myself without that story being told.
We'll tell the story afterwards, but say your real name and your association with us.
Or give us your future dead name, because after this podcast,
My future ex-husband name, I think?
you're never going to be able to use this
Nobody
name.
will.
Yeah,
Whatever.
there's nothing good that's going to come of this. My name is Matthew Baxter.
Baxter.
Middle name Charles.
Give us your social security number, your
Yep.
current
Current
address.
address.
Yeah.
People can have all that because that comes with a lot of liability. So if you want to call me, I'm happy to give it away. Middle name Charles. I bring that up. Actually, this is a little soft
Is it
spot in my
because
life.
Charles Darwin.
Yes.
Is it really?
My parents named me and they're like, and you're going to talk about finches and you're going to be a disappointment to all of us.
Yep.
But I'm known to my nieces and nephew as Uncle Chuck. Comes from Charles. I don't know if we've ever talked about that.
I've never heard that.
And it's stuck, and it makes me so happy. So like all my buddies,
Chuck.
Uncle Chuck.
That's
and so,
pretty cute.
wait, are we allowed to swear on this? Is this
Yeah,
like
Hell yeah.
Well, so the funny thing is, my first nephew, he's 4 now, but he couldn't say it, so I was Uncle Fuck for like a year and a half.
That's perfect.
It stuck, and everybody in the family was like, it's pretty fitting.
Yeah.
Well, where did
Wow.
Charles really come from? Is it a family name?
Yeah.
It's definitely not from Darwin. We've already had this
I don't
conversation.
think, because my parents are too smart to name me after somebody that would ultimately become a finch teller. So I don't think it's from Darwin.
Yeah, I don't
It's
think so
ultimately where I'm
either.
arriving
I
at.
don't see-
I have no idea Charles itself. I know there's many generations of Charles.
Okay.
Fun fact.
So it is a family name.
Yeah, it's definitely. I think 6 greats, maybe 7 greats, goes to William Henry Harrison. Is like my great like uncle. Proud to say he was the shortest.
I was going to say
living
one of the
president of all
least
time.
relevant presidents
He was
in our
literally
history.
president for 4 days and then got pneumonia. and died.
Wonderful. Yeah.
But-
No, he had the pneumonia. Probably like our
Aw, poor Maggie.
yeah. Maggie's probably currently dying in Ohio.
My darling sister.
Darwin's sister?
Yeah, Darwin's
Is
sister.
that how that works?
Yeah, you got it.
Uh,
Evolutionists.
She
So
evolved from us.
But okay, why are you here? How are you connected to us?
Yeah. What the fuck are you doing in
Why
my
are you
house?
on our-
yeah, I was about to say I
house.
suddenly walked into the wrong house. I think I'm here because Scott is one of the only people in my life to tell me no. Probably not once, but twice. Okay, which is even better.
Only twice.
Yeah,
That's
and I
bad.
just don't really get told no that often. He held firm.
Damn.
So since then, we've become friends. We've golfed together. We've gone on some trips together.
Mhm.
We've gone on some really entertaining casino slot runs together. Which we can get into those moments in a second. What else have we done?
Not last week. We didn't. But
On one serious note, you are my favorite person to call when I'm having a bad day to be like, I need to
Oh.
have 2 bourbons and we need to go sit at Bodie's bar and I just need to bitch about the world.
Oh.
And truly, that's the one nice thing I'm going to say.
He's my favorite person to do that with too.
Hey,
Aw,
cheers.
cheers.
I'll let you guys fight about it. It's okay. You don't bitch about the world very often, Matt.
No, but it's more like hey, I need to go bitch and vent. And now that I'm there, like in that 12-minute car
Yeah.
ride, I kind of got over it. So it's
Yeah.
like, all right, let's just hang out. Usually that's pretty much,
Right.
like I'm a pretty quick fix.
Oh, I wish I were you.
He
yeah,
really
trust
is.
me,
a
I
quick
wish that was
fix.
me too. It's pretty awesome.
He's got some kind of like.
Just let that one go.
No, it's going to be unrecorded.
There's
Trust
some
me. That'll-
kind of
that'll-
energy source inside him that, like, just spews out positivity
And
all the
confidence.
time. I know you're allergic to it.
I want to
but-
unpack that at
It's
some
really
point.
gross, actually.
I want to unpack that because I have been told if we want to go down a rabbit hole, the confidence thing that's come up many times in my life. I don't really get what that is. I don't know if it's just
Well, it's because-
horrifically confident in my own skin. By the way,
No.
for those, since we're not on video, I'm about half the size and twice the price. And just know that, definition of fun size, I'm even more compact than that, just so we're all on the same
And
page.
he's a ginger, which
I'm ginger, freckled, half the size, and probably 20 pounds overweight, and very comfortable in my own skin.
okay, I think
But the confidence thing comes up quite a bit.
I think the reason that you're so baffled by it is because for most people, confidence is like a fleeting thing, and
Yeah.
for you, it's a constant.
Mhm.
Like you're just always like cool with yourself and cool
Yeah.
in situations.
Cheers to
Cheers
that.
again.
Scott,
No,
get
it's
in on this.
complete.
Get in on
No,
this.
I'm not cheersing that. It's completely fucking unjustified.
Okay. I mean,
You're a wonderful human being.
Thanks, Scott.
oh, he's gonna cry.
But
Cue
But-
the wah wah.
but
But what?
I said no.
Am I on cocaine? No.
So there.
I don't. I kind of am like a walking adrenaline shot for most people. Literally, like my call to you that when I need just to go bitch about the world, and even if it's not actually bitching about the world, it's just like I need a moment with a friend that I can, if I
Yeah.
need to say something, I do. If not, it's just like time together. I'm kind of the friend that when somebody needs a little boost, I'm kind of that to a lot of people.
I would agree with. I've seen that now. Like you definitely are that to other people too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's an important.
Which is cool. I love that. Like,
Yeah.
There's nothing better than when somebody calls me, they're like, hey, I'm having a bad day. I'm like, fucking sweet. Let's go deal with this. Like, what?
The only time I have ever reached out to you and said, "Hey, Matt, let's go hang out, I need to vent, and you've said no, it's been, sorry, I'm going to Cuba, or sorry, I'm in Lexington, or I'm in Vegas for a conference. Like, you're constantly traveling, which is really annoying to me because it really harshes my ability to vent with you. But eventually, we got to talk about horses.
We'll get there. We'll get there. Something that is, you're welcome to punch me in the face, but I know you will just hate.
Oh God.
So think my age group of friends, similar to what you just said, would reach out like, hey man,
drop your age for the audience because
He just turned 30.
and my father's 51.
And we're friends.
And they're besties.
Yeah, I do think I have a gray hair. It's okay.
I can't tell. It's all ginger. I don't know. I can't look at it for too long. It makes me mad.
It's a big nest.
Yeah.
It's a big, thick nest.
So
there's probably ticks in there, man.
My friends, when they would reach out and be like, hey, you want to hang out? I, for like probably a 5-year season, would just send my location. That was my way of saying I couldn't hang out.
Yep. Show up if you want to. I never got that, by the way.
Okay.
Oh, it was,
Actually, that might be the best response.
Yeah. I have two things that I do with my friends. So I just went on a golf trip with 8 of my Hope buddies.
Yeah.
And they definitely used it as a field day to make fun of me, which is great. Two things that I didn't realize that I did. I sent the location. And the other thing I'm notorious is when they call me, without fail, within minute, like 47 seconds into a minute and a half in, I'm always like, hey, I got to take another call.
Oh,
So
that's
they're like,
so
they're
annoying.
like, isn't Baxter famous for picking up the phone, having a conversation, be like, hey, I got to call you back in 45 seconds. Now, the thing is, I'm very good at calling him back, but I do take a lot of alternative
So this
calls.
is a really important...
Trust me. I'm teeing off some things that I know you're going to have a field day with later.
It's a really important thing for everyone to understand. Matt's really important. No, Matt's really important. Matt takes a lot of calls. It's very important.
Yeah, a lot of people I got to juice out. That's all.
We should all be very appreciative.
If you're ever having a bad day, just call me.
No, we're honored.
That's not what that's about, Matt. Stop it.
We're honored.
Don't spin it positive.
We're honored that you're carving out 3
Oh my gosh.
hours of your life for us.
I might have to take a call in about 12 minutes.
I will punch you in
And
the
I will
face
send
for
my
that.
location from the bathroom that I can't.
The other funny thing about Matt is I could ask to like say, hey, we're gonna record the podcast. You need to give me your phone, but then he'd have the other phone in his back pocket.
No. I'm down to one. I'm down to one. I'm down to one. I'm down to one.
The 2 phones thing.
I'm down to one.
About the 2 phones thing, I'm gonna get really angry.
I
for real
am
angry.
down
The two
to
phone
one.
things is how I define Matt.
I know, and it's so sad. I am
Okay,
down to one
why
the
are
two
you down to one?
Because Apple did this thing where
Because
it
you're
blended.
not dating somebody
Yeah,
that you
that's
don't
all.
want to have on your work phone.
There is one person whose brother-in-law is in our life who we both know who's a little bit more serious.
Yep,
Okay.
Yep.
One of the funniest things I've ever heard him say is, we had a very serious hour-and-a-half business meeting. Like, this is like no nonsense, no shooting the shit, none of that.
Okay.
Hour and a half in, we get done, and he goes, "What's up with the 2 phones?" He goes, "You're dating somebody, aren't you?" And it was the most like, wait a minute, we are human. Like this, it was so good.
So I just went there. I didn't intend to go there to the same place he went, but you've now fixed that?
No.
Guys,
I have one phone.
This is such good content.
Yeah.
When we're talking in riddles about people that you guys know, but nobody else.
No, we don't want to share that information.
Yeah, that was.
I don't.
But you don't have 2 phones anymore. That's my point.
Just one.
I mean, the 2 phone thing is funny, Rebecca.
It was a thing for a little bit. The problem is literally for a while.
We were gonna tap into your rage.
Hang on. The first time that I found out about this 2 phones thing was we were out, the 3 of us, and you. I didn't even know about the 2 phones thing until you put your second phone up on the bar in front of you, and I was like, "All right, he wants me to comment on this now because if he didn't, he would."
No, I just don't like things. I don't like things in my pocket. It's
hence.
And I don't know where my keys are. I don't know where my keys are.
I don't
Just
care.
so you know,
I don't give a
lost
shit.
puppy.
I don't care. I said, "Why do you have 2 phones?" And you said, "Well, one's for work." And I said, "That doesn't answer my question. Why do you have 2 phones?" And you said, "Because if I'm out and I don't want to deal with work stuff, I can leave the work phone at home." And I said, "Both of them are on the bar right now."
Because I had to deal with some work stuff.
It was like a Friday night.
Bullshit.
Trust me.
That is such bullshit. You just wanted to flex about your 2 phones.
HR tech doesn't slow down all the time. Friday nights, baby.
Wait, you want to talk more about yourself?
No. Later in the episode, maybe.
Oh, you're gonna do your pitch?
We gotta get him loose.
You want to do your pitch?
No, because nobody wants to speed this thing down to quarter of the speed. Okay?
No, I'm not fast enough to.
Yeah, no, that takes a lot. That takes a lot of editing.
All right. Do you want to explain your nickname,
Which one?
Mr. Finch?
Which one?
Okay.
The one we gave
The one
you.
we gave you.
Let's start there and go.
So I'm gonna do my best to share it in the moment, and then I probably will need some more wine to justify where I was trying to come from.
Absolutely. For context, this is the conversation that happened the first night that I met you.
Yep.
So this was your first impression.
Not the first night I met you.
So the one was this the Pappy's flight?
Yes.
Yep.
It was all the
You got it.
Yeah. So for those tuning in, we had a wonderful night at our dear friend Ryan Renner's house, who is a gracious host, and allowed us to taste 4 different
It was
Pappies.
plus extras.
No, but like
And then other things.
But if
Plus
you're but
extra
if you're a bourbon fan, we got to try all 4, which is if you get to try all 4 in your life, it's unbelievable.
It's
let alone
ridiculous.
all in one night.
Yep.
And then what was the Johnny Walker Red? Not to tee up why I might have not been in the
Yeah, you're
space
just trying
to make.
to hedge
I'm just trying
right
to
now.
let everybody know that there's some things.
Hey, there were
I was
other
very
things-
emotionally out of straw.
There
There's
were
a whole
also
lot of
other things in your system at the time, but
So annoying.
Yeah,
anyway.
like
Nope.
awesomeness and pride.
Like love.
But yeah, I think was I dating at that
mushrooms?
point? No, that
Mushrooms.
wasn't the night. Different
Mushrooms.
night.
no.
Different
this-
night.
I know what was happening in
Well,
your
there
love
were.
life at this point.
I think there were mushrooms that night too.
No.
No?
No. I know for a fact not that night.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I wouldn't be able to. I would if I was doing that. I'd be like, we're not having this discussion.
Well,
I'd become more lucid.
Bullshit.
I was giving context that this was while you were dating somebody that all of your friends didn't think that you should have been dating, and so you were very emotionally.
Oh, just in a very healthy spot, I'm sure.
Yeah.
All was going well. Okay, so I am a huge fan of TikTok, okay? Love TikTok. Big TikTok fan. Tonight we talked about me making cottage cheese wraps for dinner.
Changing the
No. I'm going to get right back to the topic, I
I
promise.
guess this has something to do with it.
So,
We'll see.
that night, it must have been like that day or within 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
I listened to one of those like Q political Q like
QAnon?
no. It was like a 2-minute long clip that was like, oh, this is really groundbreaking, interesting, whatever. A bunch of these different clips. One of them had talked about, and again, what I've listened to, and then 96 bourbons in tried to articulate. Okay, this is I'm willing to accept. One of those things that you say that you forever will become the guy.
I don't
who's
want
the
you
pitch
to
guy.
try to pass this off on somebody
Hang
else's
on.
content.
That is bullshit.
No, this is
For
bullshit.
those
You are
listening
spitting.
in, they both physically just got closer to me as if they're ready to start yelling at me.
State your position, sir.
Because for context, you also argued with us
For an
about this.
hour.
More than an hour. So
I
pretending
know the video
that
is pretty compelling.
State
Okay.
your position.
So evolution and the whole Darwinism is him visiting this little island, and he goes and studies the finches. And so my argument was that no matter what he studied, at the end of the day, the finches still remain to be finches. They just happen to have bigger beaks, bigger feet, whatever it may be. So
Mr. Finch.
my Mr. Finch
sure he's Mr. Finch.
concept
to us.
was this guy doesn't believe in evolution, and it's all because the finches didn't evolve, and that's
Hang on.
who I am.
No, that is.
Is that
not,
where I land-
No,
is that where we landed?
That's bullshit. That's bullshit. That's not.
But that, no. That's definitely how we're mocking you.
No, 100%.
For sure.
That's where we
where
landed.
the nickname
for sure.
came from.
Yeah.
But you weren't just arguing. The finches are still finches, and that's all. You know?
I had that kind of voice.
You were
Yeah,
saying
that's what you sound like. And you always. touch
you
your
were
hair,
doing
so
the
you-
stupid evolution is just a theory bullshit line.
Oh, I love that. I didn't even know I did that. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were really
You were
obnoxious.
like, evolution is just a theory. It hasn't been proven. And it's like, you don't even understand science, sir.
Yeah,
know what
I
to
knew
say.
when Renner got into kind of the fight mode, that's when I was like, maybe I'm not thinking or saying the things that I want to be saying.
Well, smart people should be able to say whatever they want to say. And you are a smart person, but you're not smart in all things.
No.
And
You think smart people should be able to say whatever they want to say?
because I think that smart people.
Oh, here we go. This is where I want to. Oh,
because
now,
I think that smart people.
and this is
when
where
they
the
get.
interviewee becomes the interviewer.
Because
Tell me
I
more,
think
you
that
two,
when
about...
smart people posit something, they're willing to be challenged.
Oh, okay. Yes.
And they
I agree with
understand that if we're talking about science, there's a fundamental understanding of what science is, which is putting out a
So for some
theory
context-
and then testing it against reality and against.
Well, my favorite thing about the place that I'm at right now in my education is I'm at the point where I'm around people who, like, I feel like the higher you get in education, the less people will admit that they know. Like, the people that I know now are like, I don't know shit. And I'm like, you have multiple degrees and a PhD from Harvard. You know some stuff. And then they're like, well, here's some thoughts that I have that I don't have any backing for, but they're just ideas. Let's talk about it.
Based on what I do know, though, right? I mean, they know a ton.
Yeah, it's so fun, though.
They know they know way more than what we know.
But the conversation I had with Mr. Finch on the first night that I met him was not that.
Oh.
No, finches and beaks. And Darwin only created this idea off of one visit to one
That's what he
island
said
and
just
turtles
now.
and finches.
All right, go ahead.
Oh no! At this point, I didn't have a whole lot to share.
You're
It's one of those. It's just one of those like I knew this was coming. I knew I was going to eat shit for 5 minutes. We just need to accept this,
You're
and
just gonna
it's
wait
one
it
of those
out.
that I hope everybody knows. First impressions do matter because they stick with people for a long time.
Yep.
Matt,
And I am Mr. Finch among the Brew
Matt,
household.
do you
and I'm very happy
believe-
about this. And he's going to press me into a corner to make sure that I've changed and recorrected my opinion to be the right one.
Yep.
And I'm at this point, might as well just for humor's sake
No.
stand by the Finches.
I want to give you resources.
Yeah.
I would
1-800-idiots.com.
No,
for
I would
evolution.
direct you to the K to 5 science segment of the public library if you don't understand the theory of evolution, and if your fundamentalist Christian Bible upbringing is still teaching you or still instructing your brain, like. And I'm gonna pivot now, and
Okay.
I'm gonna pivot intentionally.
Here we go.
Because you can't believe two things at the same time that are contradictory. I don't think you should be thinking about it if these two things are in contradiction.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about your horse business, Matt.
Wait, hang on. How is that in contradiction to evolution?
Well, he and his dad and a bunch of other people are involved in a horse breeding operation that is all about two different
I see.
horses coming
Yeah.
together and making better horses.
You're breeding the best
It's
things.
fucking evolution, Matt.
That is literally what evolution
In
is.
small scale and over 1,000,000 years,
I'm
makes.
going to say something that's going to make the two of you so
Yeah, I'm
mad.
so excited.
Do
Go
it.
ahead.
The funny thing is, thoroughbred horses have not evolved since they've been
Okay.
tracking racing.
Okay.
The speed figures have not increased. It's an inch, and again, it depends on what your timeline
Okay.
of evolution
Yeah, I
is.
was gonna say. I was gonna
No,
say.
that's what I'm saying. No.
So in the last
that's
200
what I'm trying-
years-
That's what I'm trying to tee up. Just so everybody knows, I believe in evolution. Let me just say
What?
that on the
You
record.
do?
Yeah, we're getting.
Oh
it.
God, give me a pen. I gotta write this down.
But there are some pretty bad. I just feel like we point to some very small derivatives and assume that equals evolution.
Okay, I don't think you have any idea what you're talking about. I'm gonna be honest right now.
No, but like
Because-
the horse one is actually factually not the best one to look at because the performance of horses measured against racing, if we're looking at evolution compared to the performance of horses improving in their racing output over the last, again, depends on your timeline of the derivative of evolution. 50 years since
Wait,
Secretariat
hang
ran.
on. Explain what you mean by the derivative of
This exact
evolution.
period of time.
All
If
right.
we're just looking at like 50 years, they have not improved.
Yeah.
That's probably not enough timeline to
You're saying
claim
that they're not faster?
No, they're not.
Okay, so I'm okay with that.
Mhm.
What I'm telling you is humans
Mhm.
are forcing a horse where there's no evolutionary need to just run faster. Humans are forcing them to maintain speed where there's no evolutionary pressure to do that
Anymore.
Mhm.
And so all you're saying is, yeah, we suck at making horses faster, but we are good at making sure that horses continue. And also,
It's actually really
and
interesting
also
question.
you're
Was there ever a time for the survival of horses to run? Like,
yes.
Was there a bare minimum? Hold on. Was there a bare minimum that they could run and escape predators?
No, it's not predators.
What was it?
I think it was this is
a
a pseudoscientific.
And by the way, I have
opinion.
such a good question for this
Pseudoscientific opinion.
So
I think that horses evolved a lot of speed. Maybe Ice Age they evolved speed to avoid predators that were massive predators.
Are you are we an ice age
No,
planet?
don't change the topic yet. I think that they evolved speed when they became domesticated because it was a range and the horses were taken care of because based on their speed, they made human beings more effective at herding, killing, and hunting. And so
you think speed wasn't a factor for horses until humans came around, and therefore.
So then I'll go back, and I think that speed was always a part of what a horse is, but I think it's because I don't know what that predator was. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm more asking because when you stop and think, a horse can pretty much survive in any form of grassland, any form of like open field, but speed other than to avoid prey. Predators is what I meant to say.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what you meant.
Yeah.
Clearly a horse was at one point fast to avoid predators.
Yeah.
Because we as humans looked at a horse going real fast and went,
by the way,
I would love to be that fast. And so we domesticated them.
Can we make a slight 1 degree change real quick?
Just one?
Manatees. You and I have been down
that's
this.
different. No, that's not a 1 degree change.
And it's how. Speaking of hold on. Speaking of the whole predator prey conversation, how have?
Hey guys, we are 27 minutes in. We're
third cheers.
We haven't even.
We are refilling.
35 of those.
We have not even gotten into what we want to talk about. This was a conversation I thought would be about maybe 10 minutes.
That's what I thought too.
But now we're at manatees, which I haven't heard.
I told you guys from the beginning.
You
just need to direct me and let me go.
I don't know what the manatee thing is, though. Okay, so tell us about manatees.
No, you're not going to do this because you can edit this out.
Tell me about
You
manatees.
looked at the cost of a ribeye manatee steak when we were at
manatee steak.
Yes, Scott.
It wasn't a manatee steak.
Yes, it was. It was. Can you order? Yeah, Scott. This is one time in my life I am 100% right. We were sitting at Olives, and I brought up the whole conversation
you showed me the website. Yes. Yes, that did happen.
This was not me looking up.
You're right. Now I'm remembering. I thought you were talking about last week
because
where we were ordering a steak together. I'm like,
I
wasn't a manatee steak, dude.
No. This was me going down this rant around how have manatees survive adaptation and evolution and all these different things. Okay, they're floating ribeyes.
No, they're
wrong.
They are sea cows, but
and then your father and I sat and looked up to see if there's any places that sell manatee steaks.
Well,
and there are.
The native people of Alaska eat whales. That doesn't mean that a manatee is a floating cow. They live in different environments, and so their bodies are made up of different.
And manatees are way less like a true cow than.
Also.
All the listeners are going to disagree with the two of you because they are floating cows. They just sit and do nothing. They have no defense mechanism. They
have no meat. They have very little meat on them.
Okay, they've got a lot of fat and a little bit of muscle. I get it. Can relate to that.
You can.
The whole floating ribeye, yeah, fine. It might be a little bit of a fattier New York strip, but the point of it remains the same.
Matt, you just want to be carved up.
What's the point? You never came to a point.
There was no point. Oh, we have to have points to all.
You just said the point is the same, and you have no point?
Oh, yeah, that it's a floating ribeye. New York strip.
Sorry. Oh, so your point is just that you're wrong.
It's definitely not a New York strip.
Fine.
All right.
It maybe is more similar to a floating ribeye
with a bit of fishier taste.
I don't know. I've never ate.
They're not fish.
I've never eaten one. Yeah.
What? They're not fish.
They're mammals, right?
Tee up the next 15 minutes of Rebecca yelling at me.
I love to yell at you.
Matt.
I get it. I understand. A lot of people have that feeling too. So cheers.
I mean, it's
It's our
really
whole
fun.
You're about to get
It's
you're about to get my location soon.
it's
I
really
love
fun
that.
that you don't know so much, even though you do know so much. You know?
It's a perfect
You're-
existence.
You're so able to just talk like you know what you're talking about, but if somebody else around you is smarter than you, for example, me,
And case in point.
By the
hello,
way,
your girl.
Kathleen
What's
just went
up?
jammed the like button,
Yeah.
like
Kathleen
bing,
is
bing,
like-
bing, bing, bing,
Pound
bing.
it, Kathleen.
Kathleen is the only one on my side, and I
I
love
know.
her for that.
No, she's not
But-
the only one. Your
Yeah.
grandmother is.
So the point is, you're smart and I'm dumb. Continue.
The point
You made me land the plane on Manatee.
Thank
So
you.
get where you need to go.
finally found a point. Good job. No, the point is, you talk a lot like you know what you're talking about, but if anybody is around you who does know what they're talking about, it's really easy to pick it apart.
Oh, it's the best. I spend all my time with smarter people, and I just like
That's the
teeing
way
them,
to do it.
teeing them up to the point where they can just roll on their thing.
they
And I don't
just
mind.
soak it
I
in.
don't mind BSing my way all the way up to the point where they're the smarter person,
Yeah.
and then it's like, all right, you just go.
It's
So-
fun though.
So, what do you think
Yeah.
about Bridgerton?
Oh my god, Dad.
I gotta be.
No, I want to hear.
I gotta be honest. I'm not even gonna try to pretend to be smart on this one.
Do you?
Please don't.
You haven't watched
No.
Bridge? Not at all.
Not at all. I actually don't even know. That
Oh,
it's a
that's
show.
right. You don't date.
It's just a 1980s show.
It's a current show. It's
Well, I
currently
just wanted to be, because I'm a smart person and you're a smart person. I
Oh,
wanted
thank
to
you.
I wanted to fuel your rage
Oh,
of
good.
last episode.
I just didn't know we were walking on this podcast with a lot of preconceived rage. I knew the Finches was here.
Well,
let me
you can
update
just get
So,
a little peripheral
Let
rage.
me give him an update.
Yeah.
I had a hysterectomy 2 weeks ago, and they said you'll have post-op grief and sadness, and I don't have that, but I have post-op rage. So I'm just
Mainly pointed at me. Perfect.
No.
rage. No.
Last
well,
week it was pointed at Bridgerton because she
And-
was like, they fucked that up.
It was pointed at Bridgerton. It was pointed at that dude that went on Rogan. It was pointed.
Oh,
honestly,
yeah.
I'll be
Ooh,
so real
Terrence
with you.
Howard.
Yo.
It's pointed at most of the men in my life.
Okay, so
Again, not
instead,
sure why
let's
I'm getting
redirect
roped
to a
into this,
TV
but
show. And
just
I
an
just
honest
wanted to
podcast
point
guest.
out that you can now point your rage
Yeah.
at the people who make creamers in the grocery store,
Why?
because there are multiple branded Bridgerton creamers in the grocery store right
What does
now.
Bridgerton have to do with creamers?
Who can say?
That's so weird.
That's pretty fucked up.
I mean, Bridgerton
So-
is a very sexually explicit show. So
Oh,
Cool.
I guess we're not cutting that part out.
Yeah.
no, leave that in.
Um,
I'm proud of that one.
You're proud of that.
And
Interesting.
speaking of dairy creamers, brought to you by what is
What do we?
what's like a main? We should toast to
Eh,
something.
international? What is it? Creamer? I
I
don't
don't
even know.
know.
I don't even know what it is.
I don't use creamers.
The 13-year-old child was like, Bridgerton cream? What is that? Why are they part of like? Yeah, that's pretty messed up.
Yeah, that's weird. That is weird.
So
Anyway.
that's why they lost their way.
That's why Bridgerton lost their way.
Yeah,
because
they've
they're
been
being
too
sponsored by
commercialized.
creamers.
Yeah.
I think they were commercialized from the get, but yeah.
Okay.
This show really
Shonda.
changed. This is something I learned from TikTok. To Matt's point, TikTok informed me on this.
Oh.
And by the way,
Wanna
to those
bet?
listening, to Matt's point, it's just Matt uses TikTok. So
Yeah.
to your point of being
You're
a TikTok
welcome.
user, thank you. Shout out to TikTok. What's up, China? You're already listening. Go ahead.
The reason season 3 sucks is because the person that is actually running the show left, and their second in command took over for season 3, and it sucks.
But they don't have like full control over.
They kind of do. I
story
forget what
and
they're
everything.
called, but like you know how like Shonda
the
Rhimes,
story runner, yeah,
owner
the
of
runner.
Shonda Land, is technically in charge. But there's like a guy that's in charge.
Can I?
He was in charge for season 1 and season 2, and he had like a right hand woman, I guess, and she took over for season 3. And like they're allowed to come into the writers' room and be like, "Yes, that's good. Yes, it's good. That doesn't fit. Yes, it's good." And
Can I try and give you hope?
I mean, yeah, but it's not gonna work.
You said they fucked it up by doing this like weird season 3.
Well, they fucked it up in a lot of different
But
ways.
right, you shared all that.
With
but,
the creamer.
Yeah,
yeah,
mostly
and the creamer's a big part of it.
real
but
mess up there.
but they also split the.
Yeah, they're doing a part 1 and part 2.
Maybe you should just wait till part 2 before
That's what a lot of people are saying. They're like, everybody's yelling about part 1, but everybody's forgetting that we only have half of the season. It's like, yeah, but
Maybe they're gonna just blow your mind.
No,
in
but-
part 2
but-
season.
but this is a romance show. The whole point is like tension leading up to when the couple gets together. The couple
And
is
then the creamer.
and then the creamer. Oh
That's-
my god!
That's part of the climax.
Yeah.
Wait.
Stop.
Didn't she make the joke? She made the joke.
Yeah,
This
I
is
was
her
just
joke,
gonna
and
say,
we're just
it's
rolling with
my
it.
joke.
How
that
many
Why am I
times-
getting yelled at? Why am I
How
getting yelled
many
at?
times should we make the joke?
Yeah, I was about to say, why am I getting yelled at? I'm just playing off of your own joke.
But the couple is already together and engaged at the end of the 4th episode. I don't know how much more tension they can
Non-fat
have.
creamer.
But you said
That is so funny.
no, that was stupid. But
Come on, all couples are skinnier before they get married.
But you were bitching about how the story wasn't. It was very forced.
It was weird because
Wanna bet there's gonna be tension in the
Well,
next side of
but they
the
already
season?
ruined, like the lead up has already been ruined because they're
You
already
said they
engaged.
spent so much time on this random family.
I don't know why you're arguing with me.
You
right
said
now.
no. I'm just
That's how I
just
feel
trying to
most birthdays
predict.
nights.
I'm
Go for
gonna.
encouragement.
Why are you yelling at me?
More discouraged.
Yeah,
I get
now
nervous
you
around
sound-
new people.
now you
you're yelling.
sound like Matt.
I literally say all the time, you're just yelling at me.
I know, that's what I said.
I get really nervous when people yell.
Believe it or not, I'm funny.
You said you were upset that they were spending so much time on this other family that wasn't relevant.
I didn't say they weren't relevant. I just said I didn't
They
understand
were
why they
just
were
minor. Like,
They were
they were
background
side,
characters.
Yeah,
in the
background.
first
There it
season.
is. Yeah.
Season, yeah.
Maybe there's gonna be a plot twist in the next part of
Okay,
the
yes,
season.
but
Kathleen is so pissed right now.
no,
I know
Kathleen is
we're so off the rails.
Kathleen
No,
is
it's more-
behind me in it.
No, she's more pissed. She's
Well,
like,
yeah, no.
She's like,
Kathleen
Scott
just
just doesn't get it.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
Kathleen
yeah,
gets
you're
it.
right.
Kathleen,
Unlike my father.
What's up, Shotty? I got you.
No, here's what, and I don't want to spend more time on Bridgerton than I need to. So I'm going to say my thing.
Oh,
and then
you
we'll
don't?
Move on. But
That's how I felt about Evolution. You guys just made me keep diving in.
I hate your guts.
Okay, we're getting back into evolution as soon as you finish.
I can rein it in. Don't worry.
Let me say-
Even if it's against me, it's fine.
Let me say that this show is based on a series of books. And so the show is
This podcast, hell yeah. That makes me so much happier.
no. The show Bridgerton is based on a series of books. So
Nancy Drew up in this bitch.
oh my god, I quit. Actually,
So you don't.
You guys have a podcast.
No, you're doing.
I'm quitting the podcast.
Kathleen, bring her back. Bring her
Kathleen
back.
and I will have our own podcast.
You could.
It's just gonna be her supporting
I
you.
don't really don't want that. I would feel terrible about that because then I would be.
Stuck with Matt.
No, I would. He's got his own podcast.
You
I
can
would have
another one with
nothing.
You. Wow.
No, he wouldn't have that kind of pity on me.
You don't think so?
No.
I've actually asked you to do a podcast together.
Yeah, and then every time I ask about it, you say, "Yeah, I don't know. We'll
He
figure
says,
it out."
he says I have to take another call.
Yep,
I'll
I
call
gotta
back
take a
in 45
call.
seconds.
And I sent my location.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty funny that I do that. I like that trait of
Wow,
myself.
talk your shit.
Hey.
Jeez.
Just to let everybody else hate me a
You
little
feeling
bit more.
pretty good about yourself
I feel
right now?
great about
All
myself
right,
right
cool. I'm gonna ask you another question. Then it's gonna be
now.
about.
Oh, here we go.
Hey, Matt, go.
Well, what were you gonna say?
No, you.
Because I have an entirely different concept than you do.
I
Go,
love.
go.
We've got 5
Okay,
hours ahead of
Well,
us.
my concept here is you have admitted, top them up there. You have admitted that you haven't listened to a single minute of our podcast,
Mm-hmm.
which I love that for you.
I wouldn't take it personally though, and I'm happy to explain why.
Well,
when the
don't
time
worry. I don't really care about what you think about
Yeah, I
me,
didn't
so
think
I
so.
don't take it personally. But
Glad
Wow,
we're-
this is getting.
Glad we're friends.
It's
I was
getting a
expecting
little-
the chip to start about an hour 15. Pretty early. Got it.
again, post-op rage.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Targeted.
I'm not sorry. We have had multiple episodes on multiple different topics
Sweet.
that you haven't listened to.
It's awesome.
So I would love your opinions on these topics.
Oh, do it. Yeah.
Can't
Here we
wait.
go.
Is this rapid fire?
Well, I don't know if it's going to be rapid fire.
Do you want like Finch level of argument, or
Yeah, I feel like
right off the cusp?
Hang on, stop. I don't want you to start gauging your response now. I want it to be as natural
Yeah.
as it is.
So
if
yes.
you have something to say about it, then say it.
By the way, I am all natural.
Yes.
See, this is why.
Yes, rapid fire, but no,
It's so
no,
hard.
not quick.
It is so hard. You just put the quarter in, I just can't stop. I can't.
Are you okay with your mother listening to this episode?
So far, no. I don't see it getting any
Awesome.
better.
Awesome. Well, our first real episode was about religion,
Cool.
Yeah, let's go.
and I know that you have thoughts about this.
Mm-hmm.
So.
There you go, Matt.
Oh, wait, first, Dad, do you want to say what we're drinking, or?
Well, thanks, Polly. This is Nero d'Avola. It's a Sicilian red. It's delicioso. I don't know
really
how to
good.
speak
So
Italian,
good.
but
It's actually really good.
it's a good, bold, red wine. It's relatively young, but still presents.
It's
It's just like
beautifully.
me. Relatively young, but it presents beautifully.
Bold and
hell yeah. That's a little that.
if you're not
confidence
ready
rubbing
for
off. Oh,
strong flavor, you're
for
not
you
gonna
listening
want
in,
it.
we've had 5 cheerses, 4 initiated by me. That one
was
she
an
nailed
issue.
it.
That one was me.
I feel like, and challenge me on this, just real quick on the wine. This is a perfect. It feels like, in a not being degrading way, it takes a cab and a Pinot Noir and mixes it together in a very. That's what I think. It's very tasty. It's not as bold as a cab, but it's not quite a Pinot Noir.
Put your face into it and sniff it.
Ew. Hey, ew.
All the way in. Get
Stop.
your schnoz in there.
Stop. I'm gonna lose it.
There's a lot more
Oh no, I'm
going on here than
It's way more sophisticated.
I don't think it's yeah. I'm just trying to say it's a little more complicated than just saying cab versus Pinot versus Merlot versus, I know you like Petite Syrah and like
big Petite Syrah guy. Well,
It's-
actually, it's technically small Petite Syrah guy. Small Syrah.
small Syrah.
Mm-hmm.
And a Petite Syrah is just a blending grape, but sometimes they make it and they put it in a bottle and you like it because it makes you feel right sized. That's great. That's good for you. But this one is kind of like a I don't know.
Definitely not a large Syrah guy.
I'm not going to speak for Paulie. I just think that he gives me the wines that he knows I like, which are more old school oriented, bigger, rounder.
Now you're just being
wines
mean.
that what that are
Stop
that
being
that
mean to
don't
Matt. He's our guest.
that aren't overly oaked, that are more focused on the place that they were grown and the.
And quick podcast poll: who knows more about wine, Matt or Scott?
Or Rebecca.
You can
Rebecca.
It's definitely
It's probably Rebecca.
Dad.
One guy says something simple, the other guy says wrong.
I mean,
Let me break it down.
Every episode we talk
But
about
I'm
what
also
wine
wrong.
we're drinking, and he goes, "This is what I'm drinking." He just talks for 5 minutes, and I'm like, "I'm drinking Josh. It was $10."
And it's redder than the white version of this.
Right.
I
Yeah, got
did
it.
really
Like,
like.
everything I say. I always say the price because that's literally the
Yeah,
only
yeah,
reason I'm
right.
buying it.
I did really
$10.
like that
It's
you
$10.
chose 19 Crimes
The one
for our conspiracy theory
That's actually
episode,
fantastic.
Well,
which was
the only
brilliant.
the only reason I got it was because it was the only red wine that was not from California.
Where was
She
it from?
didn't-
It was from Argentina.
Oh, I
And
thought
you
it.
called it before I said that out loud.
Oh, I thought it was from. Oh, maybe.
Oh, wait, maybe
that
I'm
tells you
thinking of
how much I know
maybe
because I thought
I'm
that is
thinking-
from California.
Maybe I'm thinking the wrong episode then.
Anyway.
It doesn't really
Who
matter.
cares? We're not really about wine.
Tell us
We're
about
about
religion.
conversation, man.
What do we?
Tell us about
Well,
religion.
the way that we structured our episodes
Yeah,
was...
we're going to rapid fire through the
It doesn't have to be
episodes.
rapid fire. Like I said, say what you think, and if you don't have many thoughts, then we'll move on. But if you have a lot to say, then we'll talk about it.
Not having many
But-
thoughts would
Yeah, that
pretty
doesn't,
well.
that doesn't really.
My image of you.
Definitely somebody who doesn't have a lot of thoughts or
Yeah,
things to say.
no.
So in the categorize people sort of topic, I'm definitely a Christian, but I'm as anti-church of a Christian as you possibly can get.
Say more about that. Why are you anti-church? And what does that even mean?
The church was a part of my parents' divorce because it's filled with broken people doing a lot of broken things, doing very self-serving, screwed up things that I don't believe are anything close to what is actually written in the Bible. So I'm a firm believer in the concept of Jesus and he's the savior. And I 100% believe that. But I'm also definitely a free spirit. I'm like a worldly individual. And so like, I love the concept of what church should be. But I also could define this as church, where it's good camaraderie with people that we love in a setting where we're breaking bread, having wine, getting to know each other deeper. Like, this is where Jesus would be, in my opinion, not the fucking church that we think he should be in, or the worship service on a Sunday morning that always happens. Now, I believe there's some beautiful churches out there. Truly, like, they're doing what it should be, but I think most of it's so horrifically broken. And so, to me, I think it's more, like, it's not the whole fluffy, like, do whatever you want to make you happy, blah, 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 sort of, like, I'm not that kind of Christian. Right. I do believe there's truth there. Like, I think there's truth, and if we're going to commit our lives to actually following this concept of what Jesus is and who I believe he is, but I am...
Who do you believe he is?
I believe he's perfect. I believe he's the Son of Man, and I believe he died on the cross to save our sins, and I...
Sure, but what...
No, see,
what,
she's shut
sorry,
you down.
I don't mean to shut you down, but I just mean, like, those are all, like, nice things to say, but what's the action item? Like, what things are you doing in your life?
It's going to Brazil tomorrow.
Truth be told.
To live out the teachings that you think. Sorry, that sounds
if
very
we want
condescending,
to...
but to live out the teachings that you believe
it's fair.
Jesus lived out.
I think that's fair to
If
ask.
we want to get, like, pretty real, so... There's been like
floaties and dive into the deep end.
I thought this was a shallow end. So
here we go.
Sometimes we dive deep.
So there's been probably 2 seasons of my life that I've been like suicidal. Bluntly, like I've been there. And so the concept of Jesus in that circumstance is that when I've been in that dark of a spot, it's been because I feel like I'm causing more harm to the world than helping the world. And I think what the creator, Jesus, that I believe in, is somebody that convinces you the reason you are around is to make other people's lives better, not to improve your own circumstance. And so to me, who he is somebody who, number one, I believe he's in all of us. And so one of the reasons I have kind of that larger than life, high in life attitude is like, I believe there's Jesus in you, and that may not be something you believe in, but it's like, let's go find the magic of who you are as a human being, and I want to go spend my entire life spending that with other people. And if that's moments, if that's seasons, if that's whatever, like, that's to me how I'm kind of chasing him, is like, how can I go find the most amount of Scott that I possibly can?
Because that animating thing.
Exactly, because like that to me is like what I think like Jesus is. And so to me, like in some of the darkest of spots, and actually I'm it's kind of interesting we're talking about this, because I talked about this last night with a friend. Like, I kind of want to write a book that's like the 365 letters that I wish I would have written to the people that I thought about when I was in my darkest of spots.
You should.
Yeah.
That sounds interesting.
And
I
so,
would read that.
So to me, like that's, in my opinion, who Jesus was all the time, was he was writing those letters to people, and he was coming into their lives to be a part of who they are, whether it's totally screwed up and not interested in the Jesus that he's supposed to follow. If it's just more like, hey, you're in a tough spot in life, and let's just like spend time together, and we don't need to talk about this super important thing right now. Like, let's just be right. So to me, like, I'm the probably most non-religious person, and I don't want to categorize myself as spiritual, because there's times that I've thought I've been like, man, that's the Holy Spirit, and it's like, no, that's just a hot chick that you're finding hot. Like, right? Oh, the good Lord's speaking to me. Yes, she's the one. Like, I've been so.
No, you're just horny, man.
Exactly. I've been so horrifically misled by my own what and it's totally self-serving. But I do firmly believe in the concept of God, the concept of Jesus, and I stand by that. And on the flip side, I've also experienced myself, and I also know so many people who've been so burned and hurt by the human version of church.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And that's across all. There's no particular version of it's course. Muslim, it's Jews, it's Christians, it's Catholics, it's all of them that have hurt people. And that's to me.
I just want to go ahead and reintroduce the idea that Catholics are Christians. I know that that's foreign to you, but I'm just going to go ahead and put that into your head.
And round 2, and we debate.
No. I really appreciate everything you said, because I think like everything you just said actually very much speaks to me.
Yeah.
Because it's sort of like the way that the whole concept of, I don't really know what the fuck's going on.
Right.
But I've got to find a system that works for me. That like that's how it works. Like,
yeah.
And there's so much that's wrong about various versions of religion, right? Like there are different ways that things have gone bad for thousands of years. I mean, honestly, since we've become since we climbed out of the fucking trees, we're awful when we build systems around religion. We're don't awful. Really know how to do it.
We're awful when we build systems
around anything.
Yeah.
You know, you're right. Yeah. So.
But that's a downfall of humanity, not necessarily a downfall of systems. You know, like our humanity seeps into everything we do. So even if the core of something is beautiful and good, humans just have this talent of corrupting things and finding evil in things. And it's weird for me because I am a person, I would say I'm not a person who subscribes to any faith. And I would even say I specifically don't really believe in any Christian or Catholic belief, because I've really had to confront that, because I was raised that way, where I've had to think, like, do I really believe this? Do I really follow this? Because it is what I'm doing right now, because I live in a household that does follow this. But is this something that is from my own heart, or is it just something that I'm doing because everybody around me is doing it? And I got to the point where I was like, where I realized it's not driven from my own heart. It's not something that I really believe in. But what you said about finding the magic in each person and trying to cultivate that definitely is something that I live by.
I think it's in Romans, but basically one of the things that is talked about is that there is a piece of Christ in all of us.
Yeah.
And one of the coolest callings that I think Christ gave to the Gospels and ultimately us, right, the disciples and ultimately us, is basically like, you have more power than I do, and your calling is to go out and live that on behalf of me. And I think, like, to me, the way that I view that is, oh, Scott, you're supposed to be holier than thou. No. It's more so like, there is a special piece of the greatest creator of all time, and the only creator of all time, but whatever. And that lives in you. And so let's go spend our friendship together finding that. And that to me is like, that's kind of where I feel totally called. And it's, I don't know what the end result is, but like, that's just how I view friendships.
Yeah. Like, and I see that in you. And I think that Rebecca, like, I think that you are in a different spot than what Rebecca is expressing. And I have another different expression of it. Like, my whole thing, my core about religion is a concept of being made in the image and likeness of a creator. And the idea that if I'm made in the image and likeness of God or the creator, then there's something special about that. And I think it's kind of, there's a thread that can be put between these three different
There's
perspectives.
definitely a commonality between all
But
of our
it's
opinions.
it doesn't mean we all agree with each other.
Well, I think it's
It
that his
doesn't mean
first
that we all
miracle-
worship the same way. It doesn't mean it just means
Yeah.
maybe we all have imperfect connections to something bigger. And I'm
think
okay with that.
One really
I'm okay
simple
with that.
commonality to all this is that his first miracle, public miracle, was making water into
to
wine.
wine.
And I think we all have some wine.
And
so
we are
might as
all
well cheers.
holding
to that.
Are you trying to become Catholic tonight,
I
Matt?
fucking knew where you were going with
Yeah,
that. Immediately. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. If we want to move on, I have a second.
Yeah.
So, okay, I think we should move on to our next topic.
That's smart.
Our next topic, chronologically,
Oh,
Good
gosh.
chronologically?
in
Adaptationally.
I'm gonna actually throttle you. If you hold still long enough, I can.
Bigger
handle it.
beats.
From an evolutionary
Mr. Finch,
standpoint,
Mr.
we
Finch,
are
bigger
on
beats.
year 14,000.
Okay,
Alright.
okay. What is
But
your
in
actual
All they have is just
our
bigger beats.
podcast,
Yep.
the next
chronological?
topic was pets, but
Pets. Oh, it's a good one.
You do. You
It's
have
a
a
good
dog.
one for
I have a
Mr.
dog.
Finch.
Would you like to talk about pets?
Yeah, I've got the most perfect golden retriever of all time.
Hmm.
Her name is Penelope. She is just turned 8.
Do you know that that is the name of the main character of Bridgerton?
I feel like my life is just interconnecting with Bridgerton between the name of
Honestly?
Penelope, between some inappropriate
God.
jokes we made during the intermission,
Penelope also.
and the creamer.
This is where I was gonna go eventually.
Penelope
Anyway,
also is a short ginger.
that's
She might be your dream girl, actually, for real. You have to.
I
hunt
have
her down.
never dated anybody shorter than me. Just so you guys are just we're on
that's
record.
Well, I don't know
pretty
if
much
she's shorter than you.
impossible.
Yeah, but also a statistically relevant fact.
Okay,
Well, some people are into short guys.
are they really?
Yes.
They're more into confidence.
Give
I
me-
will acknowledge
give-
that.
Just
Confidence,
give me
a little laughter, and you look a foot taller. I promise
yeah,
you,
yeah.
it works
Yeah.
every time.
Okay. To be fair, I'm 5 foot. I mean.
I was there.
I mean,
5 foot.
I'm 5'3" on my license, but technically I'm 5'2". But a lot of people, when I say I'm 5'2", they're like, "Really? You seem so much taller." You know, it's like the energy.
Because of your personality.
It's tall
yeah.
energy,
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
think you kind of have tall energy.
I have literally had a few people be like, "You have such a large personality. I didn't know how."
Large, I get. Tall, nope.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's what I mean. I don't really mean like.
No,
All right,
you're not tall.
okay, so I've dissected this with plenty of women. Most of the things that they say are the reason they're not into shorter guys is it's a security thing. It's like I want the comfort of potentially a man
No.
being able to.
That is not what I thought you meant.
No,
I
no.
thought you meant like they're not into short guys because short guys are usually insecure.
No. It's more like
Oh, yeah.
I want to feel safe or I want to feel like comforted. Like that's a thing that a lot of I'm not saying it's rational. That's just I've
I
had
guess.
open conversations with
Yeah.
both people I've dated and like friends that I feel close with.
Okay.
It's not something I bring up, but a lot of people are like, "So, how do you feel about being short?" I'm like,
No,
"How do you feel about just having an awful personality?"
That's
It's
really
usually my-
mean.
It doesn't bother me. I don't
People
care.
say that to you?
All the time.
That's mean.
Oh, everybody
so
thinks
mean.
everybody
That's
thinks
like-
it's just about weight and race and why. No, I'm short as shit, and I get made fun of for my height 10 times a day.
Well, yeah. I mean, that I get.
But also, I dish out a lot of shit, so I accept that where I'm in the world. But like, it is a very much a discriminatory thing. But I don't care. It is what it is. So all I got to do is I got to figure out better traits to accommodate to be a better human being, and I'm good.
Oh, okay. See, like, even that, it's like, I don't mind short dudes, but it's when the short dudes make them being short my problem. It's like, I don't give a fuck
Oh yeah,
about-
it's never gonna be
I don't
somebody
give a-
else's
I
problem.
don't give a fuck that you're short.
Mm-hmm.
But if you give a fuck that you're short,
Oh
then
god,
it's an issue.
Oh, that's never gonna work.
He always makes it a joke, not
Yeah.
an issue.
Exactly.
Right? So,
That's
well,
the
at
difference.
least for me, I'm not trying to date
It's so
him,
much better
but-
being short. I have half the shampoo cost and body wash cost.
I'm not sure about that. You're pretty fucking hairy.
No, I'm not. I'm like very unhairy.
Oh, ooh.
I'm a very non-hairy. I have no hair in my butt.
Oh,
Don't need to know about that.
welcome to the shallow end.
Yeah.
Deep breaths out of the bruise.
Pretty
Yeah,
shallow.
that
And they
Pretty
wanted to
shallow.
go everywhere
That
until
one was
it's not
rough for us.
fun.
That
Got
one
it.
was
I'm
rough for
sorry,
us.
everybody.
Yeah, no,
Um,
it's well.
let's
We'll
go
let
back-
you know when it's not fun, Matt.
Let's
Back to pets and
go back to the
hairy
dog.
creatures.
So back to pets. Hey, don't you have other animals in your life?
We have some barn cats.
Well, there's one that you mentioned earlier this evening that I would
Tell me
love for
about
you to
Toby.
No, tell me about what the fuck is its name? Banana.
No,
Iron
not
Banana?
yet. No, we're going to go Toby first.
Okay,
Toby.
Who's Toby? I don't know
Tell
Toby.
us about Toby.
So through the
what? Through the what? Through the what?
through my father.
Oh, I thought it was just your little.
No, he is. I'm just saying. Through my father, to give everybody some context, we have some horses.
So
and
this is your brother horse.
How many horses do you have? Or does your father have?
well, at the farm there's 8, but we own 15 others that are not at the farm.
That's so obnoxious of you.
Yeah.
I just want
And
you
he's
to know.
special.
I
He's
just
so
want you to know
special.
that saying, well, at the farm,
what,
immediately,
do you want?
like rage in my soul.
Okay.
That
We-
was so obnoxious.
You're
There's
wrong by
there's
even saying the fact.
No matter what you were gonna say,
No.
incorrect, wrong,
That's-
wrong.
Did I ever say incorrect or wrong? All I said was it was annoying.
You said that was wrong. No, play back.
I
She
said
said that
that
was
was
wrong.
annoying.
She
I
said
said-
that
No,
was
she
wrong.
said
I
she
said it
got
was
rage.
annoying, and I was enraged because it is annoying and enraging.
Fine.
But it could be true at the
I'm
same
not
time.
playing it back either.
Yeah, no,
Fuck you.
definitely not. But even Kathleen's gonna be like, you know what, Matt was right on that one.
Nope.
Absolutely not.
Fuck
because
you all.
Kathleen,
Kathleen.
is smart.
What's up,
Matt,
lady?
Matt.
I'm gonna win you over, Kathleen. Trust me.
Tell me
Kathleen's
about
so
your
smart with that.
fucking mini horse.
We have a tiny pony named Toby. He looks like Shrek from
No,
Donkey.
we don't.
I mean, he looks like a donkey
You
from Shrek.
do. And when you ride the mini horse, it
just
looks
a
like
horse.
a normal size human riding a normal size horse, and neither one of those things is true.
Oh, that's so mean. I love it.
Yeah, and he's a total bastard towards me. Like, I think it's literally like I walk in and he's like, short guy, I'm gonna kick you. He kicks me and nobody
tell
else.
me how many harness
It's a thing.
races you've won with Toby.
We've won one competition and we've lost one competition, and in both circumstances,
There was one other.
horse.
Do you know that when I was like 10, I did horseback riding lessons for like 2 or 3 years?
On a normal size horse?
On normal
Yeah,
size
yeah, yeah.
horses?
Okay, I
You
was
would
about to say,
crush.
if-
You would
No,
crush
hang
him.
on.
If you
Hang
fall
on.
on Toby,
Hang
it
on.
feels good.
On normal sized horses. That's gross.
No, not
I'm saying,
on Toby.
I'm saying
off Toby.
literally, if you're like on
If
a
you
horse, and you just
roll
fall
off
over, it
him,
sucks.
it's like,
With Toby, it's like,
oh, too bad.
That's
Okay.
fine.
I've never fallen off a horse, but
It's like landing in a beanball pit. Go ahead.
But I did riding lessons for like 2 or 3 years, and my teacher finally convinced me to like do some sort of competition. I don't even remember what I was entered into because she just like she was German. She
She was
me
mean.
into doing it.
She was
And
real mean.
That happens to a lot of people in generations.
Again,
They get German pressured.
I was like 10 or 11. I was small. And they entered me into this competition and they put me on Caspian, the big black stallion.
That's right.
And they put our oldest
I forgot about this.
student on Snoopy, our miniature horse. So her feet touched the ground while she was sitting on Snoopy.
Mm-hmm.
And I was bareback on Caspian, the 10-foot tall horse, as a 10-year-old. And I got 8th place
Well done.
of 8 people.
Hey, but you finished
Fuck yeah.
and you placed.
I placed.
And
Did
Caspian,
you fall off the horse?
I did not
You
fall
did
off of
not.
Caspian. Caspian was actually very kind to me,
Caspian-
considering he, like, definitely was
You
like...
mean not cast iron, the German horse?
Caspian was your bitch at the end of that.
No, Caspian was like this tiny child, this
Can
poor
we
thing.
just lean into the narrative a little bit and say
Well, it's
Caspian
just,
was your...
No, it's just not true. Caspian was kind to me.
Okay,
I'm just
okay.
can't wait
Truth
for somebody to hear
teller,
the joke that I
boring.
Well, the joke was bad. I heard it. I just didn't laugh because it was bad.
And my narrative was bad, apparently, too.
Yeah, this is the rage coming out. All right. Next
Topic
You'll
change.
know the rage.
Positive.
Either.
Positive. Next positive change.
It's fucking obnoxious. You go.
Hey, Matt. Talk to
this
us.
sounds pre-written.
Hey, Matt.
Hey Matt.
This is
Let
my-
me
I
screenplay.
labeled
Hey,
it
Matt.
Baxter, because Matt Baxter is Max.
You
I like your face.
You really think?
Thanks. I wasn't insecure about them until now.
Well, you mentioned them as a negative earlier. So.
Check my watch, Dan.
I don't
Okay,
want to.
hey guys.
Sorry.
Bring back. Sorry, audience. What's up,
You
Kathleen?
really think? You really think you want to be a stand-up comedian?
No, I'm not doing a bit right now.
Yeah.
I'm not doing
You're
a bit.
doing 1 minute right now.
Hard
It's kill,
one. Ready?
kill Tony.
I don't
kill
have-
Tony practice.
I literally don't.
Kill Tony practice right now.
I knew when I said that
Right
text last
now.
night. I knew when I said that text last night.
Then what the fuck are you talking
By
about?
the way, what was 850,000
It was
seconds?
8 hours. I was timing how long it took me.
I don't have a bit. I'm not even going to try to because for two reasons. I have 2 bits that I have that I'm so close,
Well,
and
this
I'm
is-
no. I can't screw it up. I'm not
No,
going to do it.
no,
I'm not
this
going to do
is
it. I'm not going to.
perfect.
I promise you, it's not going to happen
There are
tonight.
20 people who listen to this.
I'm
fine.
saying
you
I am-
should try us out. We'll be
Scott.
a little mini Kill Tony.
Scott, you know me so well by now. I promise you, it's not going to happen because I'm so close, and you got to let
You're
me.
so full of shit.
It's so. I trust
You're
me,
so full of shit.
I get it. I'm sorry.
So, okay,
I'm sorry,
cool.
Kathleen. I disappointed you.
No, you're disappointing me, man.
No, I'm worried about her.
She's gonna be fine with it. You're just accommodating her. To me, you're failing me.
I know. I totally am, and I'm willing to accept that.
Okay. So what you're really saying is you don't have shit.
100%.
Cool.
Okay,
But I
wait.
get-
You don't have shit, but you're. I haven't heard this from you, but I did hear it from him. That you desire to be a stand-up comedian. Is this true?
No. I want. Okay.
Is this true?
Let me-
Because
let me
Can I
f-
tell you what my
Don't
immediate
say
thought was?
no so many
Can I-
times
can I-
because the answer is yes. You
Yeah.
do.
No. I need to.
Can I tell you what my immediate thought was?
The rage is coming.
It's just you guys keep cutting me off to do your little bro thing, and I want to say my thing. I don't think you're funny.
That's just.
Bam.
She just.
I think you
And
are.
Just
Threw
it down.
What was that whole thing we talked about at our little pre-cocktail? Was like, your friends, if you can be honest and give harsh feedback.
Yeah.
So
There
I
you go.
should
You
receive
got it.
that.
I'm
Thank
trying to be
you,
a friend to
Rebecca.
you. I'm trying to be.
Please
friendly.
tell me more.
I don't think you're funny.
No.
I think the jokes that you make are fun to laugh at because they're so bad. And I think that your life is fun to laugh at.
Mm-hmm.
And you as a person
Ooh,
are
No,
fun.
that's even really more brutal.
Now it's just,
I'm
and
just trying to be honest with
I
you.
want the listeners to know I am emotionally okay based upon what just happened.
Oh, he's fine. He's fine.
And I need to get paper towels because there's so much blood
Yeah,
everywhere.
based upon what just happened to me.
But I don't see you as a stand-up comedian, and I'd love to know. I'd love to know what's up there. It's really.
You want to know what's going on in my brain, or you want
Yeah.
to know what? So, to me, no bullshit. The way that I view most things in life is like that is a cool challenge that I want to go try to figure out if it's
Okay.
worth my intellectual and A, can I do it? B, is it intellectually stimulating? B, is
Wait,
C,
what?
C,
How many?
sorry, whoa, hey, whoa,
Whoa.
A, B,
Hang on.
E,
3,
F,
4,
G,
5,
and
17.
one more Finch at it, we're fine. Okay, bring it back home. So,
What's the next prime number?
So-
I don't know. I don't believe in
easy
prime numbers.
Terrence, take 2, square root it, double it, square root it, double it, and now we're in
Okay.
the
Okay,
vertical
but
trap.
what
Here's the
do you-
thing.
So back to the
Here's
point of the
thing is
stand-up
You
com-
ran that joke too long, and now it's not funny anymore.
Yeah, a lot of
It was
deferring,
funny. It was funny at
off
first.
of why you don't have
By
1
the way,
minute.
not looking to your guys' feedback right now.
1
thank you
minute
for
of
offering
stand-up.
it. I really appreciate that you guys are so willing to offer the exact derivative of the moment.
No, derivative,
Do you
you're
know what
using,
derivative is?
you're still using that term
Because
improperly.
I use derivatives in
im-
my actual
Yeah,
work a lot.
Are
Do you know what a derivative is?
No, he doesn't.
Oh, now we're just gonna do the whole. You talk about the bro moment. This is the family moment. Tag team.
Nope.
Matt,
It's not the
uncertain-
family moment. It's the smart people moment, is what it is.
I
Oh,
couldn't
gosh,
do a
that's-
derivative.
okay.
I'm not smart.
Yes, you could. You could. do
No,
a
I could
derivative.
not. I could not
I could do a
still do
derivative.
that. You could, for sure.
Derivatives
Because,
are easy.
but also,
Getting up on stage in a 1-minute environment where it's the scariest, most difficult, but like the most difficult environment, and you have to perform,
Yeah.
and your performance is not playing. Like, so I love playing off the crowds. I public speak enough that I hate talking, but I like being in front of people to the point where it's Q&A.
Right.
I am not. So I've done 2 hour-long sessions in front of. One was 1,000 people. One was 5,000 people.
Oh my god.
So I've done that.
Yeah.
I hate that because that's like me being the expert in the room. I don't enjoy having to come up with enough content to be like that's not me.
An hour is a long time.
Yes, too
In-
long.
In front of
That's
5,000
a long time.
HR people. Okay? I've done
All
it
I'm
twice.
asking for is a
No,
minute, Matt.
Hold on.
Hang on. Let him.
So
I know, I'm just
what
saying.
I love though is I very much enjoy being in front of a crowd where it's like Q&A or like a call response type thing.
Yeah.
Like that's very fun for me. I think I'm pretty good. Like that's where like some of the wit, and also I can say a bad joke and I can call my own bad joke out, and that's funny for me.
Okay, but let me challenge you because a stand-up comedian is not only crowd work.
No,
I
no.
would even say their crowd work is
The-
So that's what I'm trying to
the
say.
least
That's what I'm
important
trying to say. To go up and deliver a minute of raw funniness is
Oh,
the
you're
next
saying it's
most
challenging
difficult
for
for
you.
me to.
Okay.
Like that is going to be so hard for me to put something together.
Okay.
That
Why?
like
What? So
Well, I see what he's saying. He's saying
I'm-
good. He's good with the person-to-person thing, but what he's not so confident in
and
is just standing there and delivering without any feedback from the people.
right,
But that's kind of what comedy is. I mean, you get feedback through laughter, but
right.
other than that,
But
you're on your
I
own.
agree with that, and that's why I'm challenging him
You
to say,
just like in the moment.
give us a minute, Matt,
I don't know.
and we will respond. We will be your feedback.
You can crowd work with us.
We will crowd work for you. You don't even have that.
Mm.
You just have this idea.
no, I'm just a sitting failure.
Oh my god.
Okay, brother.
No, but I'm totally, and that's the best part about.
See-
I'm willing to sit here and
I
accept that.
appreciate Honesty.
I
Yeah.
had that,
I really
by the
do.
way, on my little note card, on my frickin' Post-it note. I had.
Was
this,
that the brain cell he just
I
used?
had
was
this-
trying to come up with what this.
Post-it note.
It was
This is a
post-it
post-
note, yellow pad. You know yellow pad.
Yeah,
You know
the yellow,
whiteboards in there. He's like, wait a minute, that's
sticky thing at the
handheld.
top.
Postcards.
I
no.
had okay, but
3x5 card.
it's
But
actually-
it's 1.5 by
But Matt, it's
3,
actually worse for
and
you.
it's yellow, and I turn it.
It's actually worse for you because I had that for like 25 minutes.
No.
Oh my gosh, no.
But
way.
you just don't have any content.
No,
He has nothing to say.
nothing.
And
I got
honestly,
nothing.
I respect the honesty.
Huh.
Yeah,
Interesting.
you told me
You
to
should
show up
work
prepared.
on it. You
You
should
told me to
work
show
on
up
it a little
prepared,
bit.
and I didn't show up prepared.
Did you tell him to show up prepared?
No.
He told me to show up unprepared, and I did that.
But you also told me that you wanted to go on Kill Tony
So
and
here's
create your stand-up comedy career.
Yeah,
and
I
I
didn't
was
say I was
like,
ready for the
okay,
bit. I didn't
give me a minute.
I'm not ready for the bit right now. But here's one thing
Okay.
that I recognize I don't have the skill set for is what those guys are not. Those guys, they all.
Stand-up comedy.
No,
I
no,
know
no.
that's the skill
So
set you're
those
not
guys,
prepared
those
for.
guys are all the difference between. So where, whatever I'm about to say, you're automatically going to judge. So I'm just going to say, take a step back.
For sure.
Let's all become friends.
Yeah. No.
Where I think
I'm already judging
where
it.
I enjoy humor and I think I'm decent is it's more banter back and forth, just shooting the shit, making fun of my own self, blah blah blah. Where stand-up comedians are really good is they will try a bit, and if that bit doesn't land in the moment, they have another bit ready to go that they'll pull out. That's a skill set I don't have.
No,
I don't have-
I don't even know if that's. I don't even know if
think
that's true. I
that's
think.
not the way
I
that
think
works.
stand-up comedians are really good at being able to think on their feet, which I think you do have.
But that's the thing is they're not playing off the crowd. They're only playing off the lack of crowd's reaction,
Well,
ready for another bit
yes,
that didn't land. The
but-
last one didn't land.
I think the only thing that you're lacking here is preparation.
Oh.
I think that you have.
That's
this,
my point.
I
Thank
think
you.
you have the skill set, but all you have to do is put in the work to prepare.
Yep.
You know.
So we opened with
We
he's
watched-
not funny, and we landed with he's not prepared. Hell yeah! Cheers, that's
We
Sorry,
watched-
What's going on? Come on now.
You
What did we
brought me
watch?
Okay.
We watched Taylor Tomlinson.
Taylor Tomlinson. Have you seen this girl?
And
Wait, hang on. We have a whole thing.
okay, go.
No, I want you to talk because this was your idea.
No, I don't have
Okay,
any
well,
ideas.
Taylor Tomlinson is a comedian. She just released her 3rd Netflix special. And we have been a fan of her since I've been a fan of her since before her first
Right.
Netflix special. But
Since you were in high school.
we loved her first special. We hated her second special. And her third one is beautiful. We actually saw it live.
Yep.
But while we were watching her third special, we thought, this is the perfect woman for Matt Baxter.
Oh my gosh, this just brings joy to my heart.
She would...
You're going to go home and jerk off to Taylor Thomas.
Oh, I need to go. That's so
And
gross.
speaking of, what was the show you were talking about earlier?
That's where she... You wanted me to lead with that, but I...
That's not a cheers, that's a fist bump.
Anyway,
yeah.
Matt, you got to go do some Taylor Thomas.
At least watch her most recent one on Netflix.
She's a pro.
She's so
Cool.
funny.
She's so fucking good.
She's so funny. Also, she's around your age, I think.
Yeah, I think right around.
She squinted as if like that's like a...
No, I think that's right. I think she's...
I mean, do you want me to just go reach out to her?
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
try it.
But also, like,
Be funny.
in your
But also be
small boy energy way. Like, hey, I know you don't really care about little people, but...
Make sure she knows
This is
that,
what I get all
that
the time.
she's the one in charge.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay, she's more of a taking control of the...
She just... I actually, at this point, from watching that special, like, actual release special, she's like 100% raw, real,
I
and
love that.
human.
And she also, I follow her on TikTok, speaking of, and she tells a story in her most recent special about going to the ER because she thinks that she swallowed an AirPod in her sleep. And everybody was like, it's gotta be like a made up story for the comedy.
It's like
of
the
it.
new version of Blowing Loud.
She
Nope.
he needs to be removed from our home, actually. I'm done. I'm done with this, actually.
We're gonna finish
What's up,
talking
Kathleen?
about
You like
Taylor
that one?
first.
Pause it.
Yeah.
Pause it. Pause this shit.
But I don't know how to pause.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, you do.
I don't know.
All right, welcome back.
We have no fucking idea what we were talking about.
Much needed pee break twice.
We all had to pee.
I'm eating goldfish. They hit some kind of smoke break of some kind. I don't know.
Water break.
Mhm.
Water break. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
We're almost done with our wine.
But the last official topic we talked about, I think, was stand-up comedy. Yes.
We were there.
Yeah, Matt declining
Declining.
our
Yeah.
option to.
Mhm.
Because he's a coward.
Yeah. Grade A
Um,
weenie.
My next topic, I actually am very interested in knowing your opinion about.
Oh,
I
here we
don't
go.
like when you both. Okay, by the way, for those of you
Yeah, man.
not watching because there's no video, they both have this thing where when they're ready to get aggressive, they both look towards me, shoulder centered, and then they also have this thing where they're both engaged in the next topic, and they readjust in their chair, grab their wine, and just kind of move physically closer.
We
So-
lift up and turn towards him
So
aggressively.
I'm a small guy and don't take up a lot of couch, and they're invading my space. That is what's happening. So, coming to you live from Rebecca, what do you got
My
for us?
favorite part about you is that you don't take up a lot of space.
No,
It's
gosh,
like
I
my
don't take up
favorite
any-
Oh
part.
my gosh!
I am
I wish all men were like you.
Hashtag Hinge
Take up less
profile.
space.
I have not told you my 2 dating app experiences.
Please tell us before.
It's
we
actually
go on.
pretty good content right here. Twice.
Is it though?
I've had Hinge for
Oh.
maybe less than 30 minutes total. 2 separate occasions. One was forced upon me. One I was like, all right, I'll try it. So 2 years ago, I think I had to have told you the story. 2 years ago, my sister over Thanksgiving was like, hey, I need to hook you up with, like, you need to be on Hinge. We should start dating, the whole thing, blah, blah, blah. Created a profile. Very first person that was like, we recommend this person you are. However it works, one of my employees.
Oh no!
So I was like, nope, can't do that. We're out of here. Not going to happen.
That's so rough.
Yep, so that's that. Okay, so 4 months ago, I was like, you know what? I've had some dates in between, a little bit of a low. You know what? Why don't we try this whole dating app thing? Okay? Downloaded Hinge, connected. She was super cute, nurse. We started texting back and forth. talking about meeting up, this whole thing. Okay? Regardless of where you stand on this topic, she looked up, because she was a nurse, my vaccine status, sent me a screenshot, and was not interested to go on a date because of whatever that status was. She was no longer wanted to pursue.
That's a violation of a
that's
bunch of
So
stuff.
I'm pretty sure that's not legal.
Yeah, you
so
dodged some stuff there.
I have deleted Hinge twice now because of those two reasons.
Can I ask a stupid question?
Yeah, go ahead, Dad.
What is Hinge?
It's the theoretically, Tinder's like hookup, Bumble's like niche, Hinge is like if you again, I'm just don't
niche. What?
Bumble's can you help me a little? Is
Bumble's
that,
kinky?
No, Bumble Bumble is like. Do you know what a Disney adult is?
No.
Okay, it's like
it's
an
a rare
adult.
moment she's defending me. So like this,
I feel like you were trying to tell me what a Disney adult was with your Bridget Mendler thing, but
it's like an adult person, like 35 years old, who's like really weirdly obsessed with kid stuff, and they're like that type of person,
and very innocent, very
but like intentionally and annoyingly so.
Oh,
you know, like innocent,
like
but,
playing the role,
but forcing you to like adapt to that.
Okay,
so that's Bumble.
Like that is
that's
Bumble.
Hinge. Yeah.
No, you go ahead. I've never been on Hinge.
From what I've been told, so this is how I was told. Hinge is like if you want to, it's all a grand slam of a diamond in the rough. Hinge is the one where it's like if you want to reasonably kind of try to find somebody. Everybody that I know who has married the person they met on a dating app came from Hinge.
Yeah.
I'm not
really.
That's like that's the one.
That's
and so I was like, I'll give it a shot. And two, like
you're not on Raya?
No, I don't even know what Raya is.
Raya is like Hinge
the hookup
for
one.
Celebrities.
How's Grindr working for you?
Oh, he knows what Grindr is.
Pretty
Hinge
weird how he was like, I don't know, Bumble, Hinge. He even doesn't even know what Twitter is, but he's like, you know what? Ooh, Grindr.
I read the internet, guys. Come on.
Oh, recommended. You should read this. Grindr.
I was asking how it was working for you, man.
Yeah. And hypothetically, this podcast is not about Mr. Brew. It is about Mr. Baxter. And by the way, how's your Grindr profile?
Ew.
Yep.
I'm kind of on like one thing you don't know about the
only
all the
one
other,
of us has a profile on Grindr.
On, please.
I'm on this Christian dating app, and my my username is Come Get Some.
Who did you say that from? I know that's not from you originally, you bitch.
So, anyways, how you guys doing?
At least you're not offended, Rebecca.
Oh no, there was a topic here.
I am.
And I veered away with dating apps, which is actually a hell of a veer.
You've successfully offended everyone.
You asked, and you're doing this because you don't remember, so don't even try.
I didn't ask.
Oh yeah, he did.
What? Perfect amount of dead air. Great job, guys.
Guys, this is gonna go real viral.
We can get some of this out.
Yeah, he definitely asked. What was next on your list, Dad?
No, it was definitely you. I promise you it was you. Because he was gonna ask and then you just went right for it.
No, I was gonna ask, but I don't think I ever said it out loud.
What's the next on your list?
Growing up.
Oh God.
See? We didn't talk about
Good
it.
thing we got the brown stuff out.
I was right the whole
No,
time.
I'm happy to go for it.
What was it?
Growing up. I think we had a really good episode on growing up. It was while we were in Chicago, and we were in the same.
I think we should have started here, but okay.
Well, I'm going, like I said, chronologically.
Right.
We hit on pets with your golden retriever, but honestly, I don't really want to spend any more time on that.
Yeah, it seems dumb.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it seems dumb. So we talked about how the qualifications of having grown up and being a grown up are different now than they were like when he was a grown up and when I felt grown up. And then we started defining what being grown up means. And we couldn't really nail down like a conclusion. So what are your thoughts?
What do you think being grown up means? I mean, as a small person, what do you think being grown up?
When you're,
Low-hanging fruit.
3/4 of the size grown up, like, what's your interpretation, knowing that you're not going to go any further past that?
Right.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah.
I think growing up is equally realizing that everything's on you, but also it's realizing that, like, life's not about you. And
Ooh,
to me, it's like this, like,
I like that.
I've gone through these weird kind of ebbs and flows. Like, I come from a horrifically privileged family, but people who worked really hard.
Horrifically?
Yeah. I come from multi-generations of doctors.
Why would you say it that way, though?
More so in the sense of, like, a perfect combination of, I come from generation of people who've worked hard enough to set the next generation up for success.
Right. I understand that. But why would you use the term horrific? Like,
Maybe that's the wrong term.
Are you being just smashed down by woke culture?
No. Okay.
Like,
No, not even a little bit.
like you're allowed to actually be.
Oh yeah. That's where I was gonna go. It's basically in the sense of, like, I come from a multi generation of successful people previously
Right.
that have done an amazing job at setting the next generation up for success, but also have made some amazing sacrifices to get there, and also worked very, like, each generation has done it on its own. So
So don't fuck it up.
yeah, basically that's like I'm the first non-Dr. Baxter, I think, in like 6 generations.
There's still hope for you.
Isn't that wild?
That's a lot of pressure.
You're only 30. You can
Wait.
go back
Oh no,
to
I've
school and
already
get a
elected to
doctorate.
choose.
Yeah.
I'm past the pressure. I don't care.
Well, it must have been a lot of pressure, I guess, then, if I, let's be specific. Why did you, like, when did you realize, like, fuck that, I'm not going to do that?
Right away.
Immediately, as soon as you were conscious?
I mean,
how did you know?
pretty quickly was like,
What was your first job?
mowing lawns.
What was your first business?
Mowing lawns.
Oh, interesting.
And I quickly realized that, like, I could, like, I enjoyed the freedom to create, like, the way that I view business, career, making money, and I've equally screwed plenty of things up. But, like, to me, it's totally a canvas that I get to be the painter of, and I get to go create some form of, whether it's, like, with my lawn care, at the time, I was a high school student. I could go work the summer hours I wanted, but I worked a lot because I wanted to have money to go do some fun things. Mm-hmm. So to me, it was a super cool, like, freedom of that. And then I quickly realized, like, I don't want to go to school until I'm 32-ish to then start building a career. And B, like, I am so anti-structure. Structure scares me.
Yeah.
I'm, like, anti kind of traditional rules. So anything that would require me to become a doctor was not going to happen.
So that's why you went to Hope College.
Yeah.
Because structure
the
wasn't
most
your thing.
structuralist school out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I mean,
No,
I know
God.
how I understand you're spinning a tale here, but wow, doesn't really make sense.
Mm-mm.
Well, I mean, could you see him as a doctor?
Well, no.
Right.
But I
feel like he.
But I
read
also
his
think he's full of
life
shit
pretty
when he
well.
says, "I didn't want to do all that because I was such a hero,
Well,
and so
yeah,
I went to
neither
fucking
did
Hope
I.
College."
But, like, I read that as being like.
I also took, this is awesome.
is where the ping pong goes on.
Yeah.
Like,
The first ACT score I took, I got like a 23.
oh, okay.
And then
I'm sorry.
I never took these.
I took it again, I got a 35. And it was literally like, my dad looked at me and he goes, "This is why we
Son, we
shouldn't
gotta
be-"
learn statistics.
He's like,
Median mean.
This is why you shouldn't be doing anything that requires kind of consistent mentality, which, surgery is part of that. Like,
oh,
bit of a-
God, no.
bit of a bipolar intelligence.
You are not allowed to cut into my body, Matthew.
I know, I even cut my own face.
Because
It's tough.
you got confused
It's kind
in
of
the
cool. It's kind
moment.
of cool scars.
In the moment, you got confused.
Like,
Especially since I have literally had a beard for the last 5 years, and the first time I'm like shaven,
but
one cut.
also to have a cut that looks like that, like, it's so dramatic. And the answer to be I was
And it's
shaving.
so hot.
No.
It's just such a...
It's so
Wow, that
embarrassing.
guy's been in the
it's-
wild for a
it's
while.
really bad. It's really bad, Matt. I wish we were on video so that people could see. It's not like a
It's a
I
significant
beat
cut.
off the guy. That sounds bad.
About to say, we didn't rush anywhere quickly
I
on
was
that one.
able to fight off the guys that were trying to attack me. It's more.
you are trying to... You're trying to undig your grave from I actively beat off the guy. You're just sitting there trying to tell...
To be fair, I was using your voice at that point. I'm just saying.
But not my words.
Dad, just move on.
Thank you so much.
give it
Finally, this is a moment where it's us two against you.
I
It's not
did try
this
to move
against
on.
this.
This is what unifies us.
You guys are not allowing me to move on. That's great.
Oh, trust
Cool.
me. How do you think the Finches feel? You just kind of have to eat this
Um,
shit. It just kind of you just kind of have to accept it.
Matt, the Finches have evolved.
Oh, trust me, I know.
We're definitely having way more fun than anybody listening is.
Yeah.
We have not said a single thing of value in the last 15
It's been a lot of air moving.
Oh,
A lot of
15?
air moving.
15, and that's...
I think it's probably 2 hours.
We're at an hour and 30 minutes.
Hour 30.
Yeah.
Like
well, we were definitely talking bullshit
even
before
in the-
that. Yeah.
in the before times, we were not saying anything of value.
Okay.
We're just making
It wasn't a
fun
land.
now.
It wasn't a land far, far away. It was just the before times.
The before times.
We did ask you a question, and then you started talking about dating apps.
Cool. Hit me with a question.
You want me to say it again?
Again?
Yeah.
What do you think classifies somebody as being grown up?
I think I kind of started to answer this. It was basically along the lines of like, growing up is realizing it's all on you, but also realizing life's not about you.
Right.
And so to me,
I like that answer, by the
Yeah,
way.
I mean, it sounds great and nice, but like, what does that actually mean?
the segue to the family that then somehow turned into like the dating apps all started with like,
Where did the Instagram models come in?
That's whenever
Sorry.
you guys are ready.
I'm gonna go
Um,
get ice.
I'm excited
so
about
that
that.
we can move on.
keep
to
going.
the-
So I've worked very hard in my life when given opportunities to do so in things that I care about. My lawn care, company Wedge, in certain circumstances, school, but like very select, narrow things.
Mm-hmm.
And I've also recognized that a lot of like the luxuries that I've been given is because people before me have worked very hard. So now that I'm a little bit older and I've taken some pretty big like financial swings, both with my own money and other people's money. It's not like, oh, I'm just kind of waiting to get to this next stage, like graduating school, and then it's all gonna be good. It's like, no, this is real life. This is on me. I'm taking a risk. I'm taking the ownership of what I'm trying to do. So that's in one area where it's like, I recognize how much I'm taking control of what my life is gonna be, and when things go well, that's a very good thing. When things go poor, that's way worse than most people's outcome, right? Flip side of that, I've recognized that I spend so much of my time obsessing over my own outcome that every time I've been in a really good spot in life, whether that's actually existing or just mentally existing, to me, it's when I spend so much of my time focused on other people. And it's like spending more time trying to make my own circumstance better versus spending more time making others better. And that's always resulted in a better personal life circumstance when I do that. And that's where it's like, it comes into play where I think it's so much comes down to, it's like, it is all on us and it's up to us. And like, it comes down to some of the decisions, trajectory, life choices we make on a regular, repeatable basis. But at the same time, like, life is not about us. And I think the more people I get to know that obsess over making other people's lives better in their world, those are the people I want to spend most of my time with.
Wow, why are you here then?
Well,
I mean, with us.
you got nice wine.
We have
You
the
should hang out with
bourbon.
Polly.
And she cheers us a lot. Yeah, Polly was busy tonight.
I do cheer when people offer me a cheers. Like,
You
who
just
am
gotta
I
throw out a
to
cheer.
refuse it? You know.
Matt, I want to challenge you a little bit on
Hit me with it.
all that sounded a lot like someone who didn't have it too hard.
Sure.
Well, I was just gonna say, like, again, that all does sound very nice, but like the people that I've known who have dedicated their lives to making everybody around them happy to their own detriment have been the saddest people I've known. So, like, I do think you gotta put your own mask on first. You know, if you are suffocating, you're not gonna be able to help anybody else. So when I hear people say, you know, I'm gonna dedicate my life to helping other people, it's like, but you at least have to survive too.
Right.
Like, when I feed myself, I'm able to give to everybody around me more effectively. So I don't know. I when I hear like that kind of rhetoric from people or that kind of speak, it just like raises my alarm flags because everybody that I've heard talk like that before has just been very sad and unfulfilled.
Matt, are you sad?
Are you unfulfilled?
Oh, now we're getting into it. Hey,
I don't think I'm sad or unfulfilled. I just like I've never been. Yes.
You want some of the bourbon that you brought?
Yeah. Speaking of,
Matt brought us bourbon.
Matt, we're now that we're getting into it, we should probably give Matt some.
fuel to be myself.
It's not really any good way to do this.
If anybody is still listening to this episode, they've definitely already had some.
Oh my gosh, they're on
like
more than
100%.
one. They're on more than one substance.
Yeah,
that's for
like
sure.
without a doubt.
I feel like we're failing right now.
We're not failing. We're having a blast.
Can I get a little more ice in mine?
You want more hand?
Maybe eventually.
I like ice.
Okay, Matt, you can have whatever you want. It's your bourbon. Like, you brought it, so.
I just like a lot of ice. That's all.
There you go.
Thank you.
One more.
A little bit more Scott sweat.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's what I'm
Look
talking
at
about. Thank you.
It's ridiculous. Okay, but
We're playing now.
yeah, all of that was, I mean, again, sounded really
That's
nice,
all.
But,
Yeah.
but for real, like, what do you think signifies a person as being grown up? Like, stop speaking in metaphors and like.
I don't know you want to push him
I want
further
an
because I think
actual
he's got
answer.
more to give.
I want an answer.
I
He
do
still
think
hasn't
he has
really
more to
answered.
give, but I want to recognize that I think that his initial
Yeah.
feedback was not bad.
No,
like
I don't
the
think so
idea
either, but it's also
of
not now.
like understanding people and giving he's not off base.
But that feels like more of like a basis for an entire life. You know, like that's like a life purpose that he's saying. But I mean like is it when you turn 18? Is it when you move out? Is it when you have a full-time career? Like
Okay,
what are the actual like
Okay, fine.
He doesn't
Right.
know. He hasn't grown up yet.
At the risk of sounding like this is my life. Okay, so I've been an entrepreneur. I turned 30. I've been an entrepreneur for 15 of those 30 years. So half my life. My life is spent basically waking up every day and figuring out what the fuck I have to do to fill my own self-serving thing that ultimately theoretically adds value to somebody else because I sell a service or a product or whatever. So the lens of which I share that is like I am used to waking up and it's on me to, for the most part, make sure the day is taken care of, whether it's my bills, future bills, like I'm used to the day-to-day bullshit that I think most people spend majority of their life chasing and they realize there's something more. To me, like something that I don't think most people can relate to, and I don't find it to be horrifically relevant, but like growing up to me has been like, so ironically, I have a podcast, and one of the questions I ask is, what gets you out of bed in the morning? But I've also had probably 3 or 4 years of my life that I didn't want to get out of bed in the morning. So it's like most of my like grown-up life is figuring out how the fuck can I wake up today and actually go do something that I go to bed feeling like that was like worth it. And so there's like, and whether that's, okay, so my problem is I typically take things one step further than what's needed. And that's where I'm trying to rein it in a little bit, right?
Mhm.
So like to me, it's having drinks with buddies, and I'm really good into having one last drink and something went wrong. Not necessarily like horrific, but it's like, all right, we were a little sloppier. Let's, if we just kept it to 3, not 4, whatever, stupid shit like that. But like it's a combination of number one, dealing with my own like very stupid male, like just very evolutionary basic vices, right? So it's like
Keep
I
going.
think
Keep
I'm getting
going,
it.
buddy.
So it's like
I'm-
number one,
I'm with you.
Some of that's like grown up, but like I feel like I've recognized those, whether it's faith, rules, moral compass, whatever, early
Yeah, okay.
to start to combat some of that. Like, not saying I'm perfect at it, but I feel like I at least know the boundaries of where I'm crossing the line now.
Yeah, leaning back into that stuff.
Right. And then I think now it's like, okay, so something I'm actively thinking about is like I'm single and don't have kids, and I've got plenty of people in my life who have kids and are married and got married way too early and they hate their marriage. I know some people who love their marriage. This whole gamut. And so there's probably 10% of people out there that I'm like, man, your relationship, I'm willing to sacrifice what I have for that. Like that seems cool. At least from what and so to me, a lot of my time right now is spent thinking about, not necessarily doing, but how can I put myself in a position that like, it sounds so weird, but like I'm somebody who I feel like I'm like prepping myself to who do I want to be as like a husband or a father? And how can I go live that life as like a single man now and do better than probably what I was doing a year or 2 years or 3 years ago, where I've had the luxury of being totally a loose cannon, and it's been awesome, and I've had some great stories, and I wouldn't regret it for the world. And I'm also okay to accept that I might do it for a few more years. But to me, growing up is like, at some point, I want to wake up and be super proud of who I am, and then one day I hope to find somebody, and if that doesn't happen, that's okay too. But like one day I hope to find somebody, and that I'm not perfect. I'm not trying to be that, but I'm somebody who I would be proud to say, look, I'm broken, but like I'm who I want to be in front of you, or I've arrived at a point where like I feel like I put in enough work that like I'm excited for this next stage. That's kind of grown up to me, but that's so niche in my world versus like advice for anybody.
So you're saying you want to be able to say that you've put in the work to be the future self you want to be, and then have the opportunity to live that future self.
Yeah. So I think hell, maybe not in the concept of like damning somebody to hell, but I think one of the closest versions of hell on earth is this image of like, this is who I was supposed to be, and constantly living in that of like, I viewed the perfect version of myself and I compare that to today. Like, I think that's what hell is. It's like literally all the things I should have done, thought about doing, could have done, didn't do, lied about, whatever. That's
right.
And so I'm not trying to say that I want to go live in this perfect version of me. It's more so like there's things like not and again, this is just like, do I think I'm fat? No, I'm very comfortable in my own skin. I would love to go through the exercise over the next 6 months and lose 20 pounds. Like,
no, you're right size.
Thank you.
You're right size.
But I'm saying like that effort, there's some business things that I would love to accomplish, that like there's some like just cleaning up the balance sheet of me that it's not super ugly, but like needs a little work, and I'm totally okay with that. That's what being an adult is for me right now. But again, within the lens of I don't have kids, I don't have a spouse, like, so that my answer of that's going to change so much.
I think you're so far ahead of what the actual question is, though, that you're trying to answer the question like 3, 4, 5 levels beyond what Rebecca is actually asking.
It's not what does it mean for you to be fully fulfilled in your life as a person,
right,
and a human on this planet. It's at what point and what qualifications did you have when you realized that you had crossed the boundary from kid to adult? You know, like I have a moment where I realized, fuck, I'm like grown up now, and I have to handle this because nobody else will. Like I know when that was, but also I'm not sitting here like, well, I'm fully fulfilled in my life and I think that I've done everything I need to do. You know, I'm good. Like fuck that. You know. But
nor have you decided that you are no longer attached to your family,
right,
and don't need any kind of
like,
support at
literally
all
something,
anymore.
like,
It's
ha-
there's
like-
And
like
something funny,
weird-
like literally. So you're 24. Okay, so I feel more attached to the help and need of my family at 30 than I did at like 24. And like not because I feel like softer. I feel like, but I'm now more just like I have people in my life that care just for my well-being with no agenda.
You're more connected.
And again, it may not be like actually tangibly more help, but it's more like I feel like I'm finally asking for real help versus like everything's fine, but like can you guys just write a check? I promise it's all going to like but now it's like hey like and again whatever the context is, but I feel so much closer.
Yeah. Well, I think I have a pretty unique circumstance where I feel like I've always been very connected to my family more than like literally anybody else in the world. So I've always been able to have that relationship.
You may
and like
feel that way, but it's probably not true.
Personally.
There are plenty of people who have had great family.
Well, yeah, but I feel like most of the people that I meet are like, "How's your relationship with your parents?" And they say it like, "All right, let's start talking about some shit." And I'm like,
It's the
they're my
bad
best
things.
friends.
Yeah.
Like, my sister's my like actual best friend.
Right.
I love hanging out with my parents, like over almost anybody. I like going and hanging out with my family. Like everything about my family at this point is like pretty much positive
Right.
for me.
Thank you. You have to say that because it's a podcast that we do together.
Right. I can't say anything negative, but
Yeah, Father Scott.
I'm not Father Scott.
Oh, just
that's
Scott.
weird. His
Excuse
priest
me.
is
That's-
actually Father Scott.
Yeah, that's the guy
Oh.
that's going away and making me sad.
His name is actually Father Scott. It's like a
Thanks for
touchy
making me sad,
Yeah, now it got
Matt.
weird.
thing right now, so
Okay.
thanks, Matt.
Okay, some more bourbon.
But-
so.
But like,
All right, so
In terms of-
here's a different way.
No,
to-
I want her to finish. I want to
well,
hear.
I was just gonna rephrase, or try to say the question again because I've now said it like 3 or 4 times. So
Uh-huh,
still haven't answered it. Kind of pissing me off.
Maybe I'm just not getting it,
What?
but I'm willing to accept that.
Okay, let me really spell it out for you this
I
time.
recognize I'm dumb, but like,
But
For
no, there's
example,
no but.
yeah,
My
sorry, this is
answer-
period.
was when you're at least moved out, I think. When you are taking responsibility for your own actions, like you decide something and then you are the person that has to sit in that decision and live with what happens afterward,
Live the consequences.
and nobody is going to save you from that anymore. That is when I think that you're a grown-up person. So what do you think has to happen before you're a grown-up person?
Yeah, I like. So the richest I ever was when I was 22 years old, cash wise. The richest on paper I've ever been was when I was 29 and a half, but I lived at my parents' house for 6 months because I had to sell my condo to make payroll. So I believe I'm a full grown adult, but like I literally had to live in my parents' house to like survive to see the next day. That's
Okay,
why like
but you had moved out. Like you'd lived on your own.
yeah, but I'm just
Oh,
saying
yeah.
yeah. Oh, for sure.
I'm not saying you can't move back in
No,
with your parents. I'm just saying
My only
live
slight
on
challenge to
your
that is
own.
like yeah, that's fair.
It does get complicated.
Yeah, there's like situations where some people don't have the blessing of like, you know, I went to college, that I've got loans, and then I couldn't go buy a place, so I had to move in with my parents, have a good job for a little while until I could buy something.
Right.
Like things like whatever. So I'm not gonna answer your question to the point where it satisfies you, but here's a few things that I think are really, really important that once you learn, I think your life is totally free, but that may be not an adult or adult. I think every day you need to belly laugh. I think if you don't truly laugh hard enough, trust me, like all the happiest people that I know find a way to belly laugh every single day. Like,
yeah, I'm sure they do because they're already happy.
I think some people learn that like in pretty dark stages, like if they find a way to laugh, it makes life better. I think that's something that's like, if you're not doing that, I think you should find excuses to go be in a position to laugh more.
It could be.
That's a very privileged thing.
No,
I
it
really
could be.
think
It could be.
No, because I think I've literally been to some of the poorest places in the world in Cuba, which is not privileged, and the families are like so happy. Like they're laughing all the time. It's family around a table, and even if they have very small meals, they're laughing all the time. Same thing is true when I go to like if you go to like some dark kind of like hood places, even then they're like yapping, laughing, like they're enjoying each other's company. Like I think it's the opposite of privilege. I think it's like people who are able to recognize that even if it's a dark spot, we can find like the DeVos family, they don't laugh a lot. I know for a fact they don't laugh at all. When do you think's the last time they've laughed at like a Thanksgiving dinner?
I'm not willing to go there.
Yeah, fair enough.
I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's a fair comparison. I think you are bringing a really good example of.
Probably shouldn't include the DeVos family.
I just think I think that it's a really good a point to say like people can be happy in a bunch of different circumstances.
Yeah.
Rebecca, we went to Cuba.
Yeah.
We saw a bunch of happy people.
It was awesome.
It was amazing.
It was dead set in the center of like literally the worst years of my entire life. And I don't remember most of those years, and I remember all 7 of those days.
And it was
That's cool.
phenomenal. Yeah. And
Cuba's
it was
sweet,
it was fun. It was fun, and the people were happy. Like,
yeah.
And
but also, the people were very clear and honest about the struggles that their country went through and is still going through.
Right.
And
they weren't trying to
hide. They weren't trying to hide the pain and the hurt and the bones of their country. And we saw a lot of those places. And we went into, like, there's this picture of me, like, 17 years old, dancing with this old man in like an old dance house in some of the worst areas of Havana. And like, it's a great picture, it's beautiful, but also we sat through them telling us about their history first and the pain in these areas. So it's like the idea that you should smile every day and your life will be better, I feel like is a very like...
I'm not talking about smiling.
Like,
no, it's Pollyanna.
There's a huge jump from smiling, because I think that's BS.
But
generally the laughter. And I think, like, laughter, smiling is fake, laughter is real. Like, it's very hard to fake laugh, genuinely. And that's where, like, I think we all could spend a little bit more time in environments that do actually make us laugh, not fake smile. Like, I totally hear what you're saying.
That's 100% fair. So back to our trip in Cuba, like in authentic laughter or authentic joy, like the bus driver, the way that he interacted with us and curated the experience.
Yeah.
And what was it? Gave us mangoes or whatever it was. He stopped and
we had a bus driver who, like, the bus service that our school used in our trip was like a local like bus tour service. So our bus driver didn't speak a word of English. He only spoke Spanish, and we were like kids in Spanish classes, but it was like Spanish classes like on the west side of Michigan, and this was like Cuban Spanish, so they speak very quickly, and they cut off like the ends of all of their words. So we had no idea what any of them were saying at any point.
Mostly, yeah. You sort of could understand a little bit.
You could understand based on context clues, but like I wasn't picking up like a word of it.
Really?
I was like, they would like,
damn, I want a refund.
And gesture, and I'd be like, oh, okay, I guess I know what you're saying, and then I would respond with my like very not good Spanish.
But
they all thought that I was a native speaker, though.
You constantly got approached.
Nailed it.
Because I was very tan.
Because you're a very dark brew.
Oh, is that cold brew? I think.
No, she had people walk up to her like, I just.
We went to like
bounce like this crazy.
Like it wasn't a festival, but it was like the market. And we would walk up to these like stands at the market, and they would start trying to sell to me like in Spanish, in very
they're just
rapid
haggling
Spanish
all the time, yeah.
And I would be like, "Hablo hablas inglés? And they'd be like, oh, this girl doesn't know anything.
Yeah.
And
But
then
I
they'd
think
switch,
that they
but-
also were halfway thinking, she's trying to con us.
100% trying to count.
She's
100%.
pretending she doesn't know, but we could see in her face
No, I
she
never knew.
knows.
I never knew.
So one thing I want to be very clear. Like, I'm not. If I came across as like, just smile more and life's better, like, and totally disagree with that. Like, mainly, like, to me,
I don't think that's what you were saying.
Yeah, even like the faith side. Like, I've been in a bad spot. I'm like, if I just listen to a sermon about joy, I'm gonna be in a better spot. 100% no. Some days it's been so bad. If I just listen to like 20 minutes of stand up that doesn't make me think about anything other than that's funny, that might just kind of be the juice. Like,
Yeah.
it's truly tailored around the concept of laughing, not fake, not joy, not like this bullshit of like, well, if you just have a positive attitude, thanks fucking Joel Osteen, like, really appreciate that.
Yeah.
It's not, it has nothing to do with that. It's more so tailored around like, I think that, and again, this comes back to faith, I think Jesus spent way more time laughing than he did preaching. Truth be told, like, I think that's, I think that's like a real characteristic about the life that he's, the creator that he is. I think that's part of it, but that's maybe my own spin on it.
Ooh.
But
I feel like if that's the case, you should have a solid minute that you're willing to share with us. I feel like that's
Something about-
true. Like, if you really believe that,
he knows there's one.
if
just ready
Jesus
to go, and
is your
that's-
savior,
And
and you
think I-
believe that, you should
think,
have.
If you think I come that easy, you are not.
Oh no, I'm not.
About the stand up, just
Whoa! Maybe just make me laugh for a minute.
I know if you think
You
deep
at
breath.
some point, if you want, if you want to make
I've had
this,
both of you so mad at me already. on
if
this.
you
It's
want
so
to make this a part of your life,
good. I
you
have to
better
do it right now.
You better actually no.
Is that not what he said?
You better actually start to.
what it sounded like.
You better start to make it real.
I get it.
Have you even started on?
No, he
a
hasn't.
solid,
He
like,
just like
6 or
talks about
7?
it and texts about it and like,
Well,
I'm
he-
awesome, aren't I?
He's in his dreaming phase.
Yeah.
Let him get into his planning phase.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to give him an opportunity
Yeah.
to practice, but no.
Next question.
That's so annoying.
So,
This is-
how many
it's your
Instagram models have you dated? And how many of them weren't really dates?
What's that really fucking famous one?
No.
There you go.
No.
What's that one?
No. We're
No,
not sharing
we're
it.
not talking about
We're
any
not
of those?
sharing it.
Well, we might be done then.
That would
Yeah,
get
we're
us
not-
This
so
was like
We're not. We're not sharing handles.
This was another hour that I was.
Oh well,
counting
no!
on.
I'm happy to talk about the models. We're just not sharing the ad
No
handles.
names, really.
No, we
I
can't
don't
do
know
that.
if she'll care.
No,
I'll be honest with
No.
you. I really
Mike-
don't think she'll
Mike-
care.
Mike-
They'll care.
might get a PR call. Might get a
Yeah,
they,
but-
them, him, her sort of
Mm.
call. No.
You seem like the kind of guy that might be
Into they them or him.
just a little bit like maybe doesn't
You know
matter.
what?
Doesn't matter whether it's a he, her, or a she, him, or a they, them, or a
Come on, one more. Bring it. Come on, fire it. Fire it.
they, them. I don't
All right.
know.
So the original question was how many Instagram models have I dated? But then the follow-up question was how many were actual dates? Okay. So you
Zero,
guys,
zero.
you define what actual dates are, and then I will backtrack to the answer.
No,
No.
it's boring.
You defined what an actual
Dumb.
date is.
0.
I have met, and how many followers are an Instagram follower or an Instagram model? If you are an Instagram model, how many followers is
No,
that?
if you're an Instagram model, it means that you are not doing anything else and you live your entire life off of modeling on Instagram.
5 total in the pool. 3 that I have
Good Lord.
dated and met families, if that counts.
0.
Wait, okay, so
0,
So
0.
for 2 of them, you have neither dated nor met families.
Yeah. It was like a fun.
But all
Thing.
of the 3 that you dated, you also met their families.
I'm like a fun guy. I kind of grow on people.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Did you get that though? Right there, what he did. I'm a fun guy. I kind of grow on people.
Well, yeah, but it's like a bad joke, so you don't.
It's a terrible
The
joke.
way that you.
It's a terrible joke.
But it's like good advertisement. At least it has you talking.
It's such a bad joke. It's definitely the way we should be done. Like this is. If you're doing fungus jokes,
I thought it was a good joke. I thought it's the same caliber.
It's not a good joke.
It's the same caliber of joke I touched off at minute 1 that I am minute
Well, yeah.
2 hours.
But it was a bad joke at minute 1 too.
I wasn't saying it was good. I'm just saying it's the same caliber. My caliber hasn't gone down. I'm still
okay.
firing.
So it's still a Matt Baxter story.
Oh my gosh.
Um,
Remember when we were like, I don't think you're a narcissist? I take it back.
Yeah. You asked for facts. I gave you facts. Now I'm a narcissist. That's how that works, by the way. This is why I don't open up much.
Stop yelling at me.
Yeah.
Okay,
This is why when your lovely wife is like, so what kind of truths do you want? I'm like, well, I don't really want to share that many because I look like a douchebag.
Oh my god.
It's actually not an appearance. It's a reality.
I am douchebag.
He is douchebag. Oh.
Live in the moment. Breathe in. Breathe out.
Well, nobody's gonna listen to this.
Yeah, this is not a winner.
Let's call it.
Okay. It's cool because I gotta pee anyway.
Yeah, sure you do. Oh, you're just gonna walk away.
Yep.
All right.
We should keep recording.
Not my podcast.
50% of it is. All right, I'll close it out. Do you have anything else you'd like to say
No,
to the
I
people
think,
out there?
I think that's about it.
I think hit on everything.
I think
Ever.
this is the first episode you guys are like, that's not good.
But it still will be released. So
Oh, good.
we just have to deal with
things
that.
I might have edited out.
Oh yeah.
You didn't like that episode?
Maybe you won't hear all of it, but you'll definitely hear some of it. All right, we'll see you next time on the shallow end.
I love you.
Bye.
Goodbye.